All right. Good morning. Good morning. What's good? What's good, everybody? Hope you enjoyed your evening last night. All things. Good morning, sir. Ernie V. Good morning. Edwin Volaton. What's going on, man? DJ OC. What's happening? My guy, spinning on the ones and twos, man. Shout out to the Parlor of East Wheaton. Make sure you guys go subscribe on mixcloud.com/POEW, as in Parlor of East Wheaton. David Tissane, what's going on, man? Oh, hey, what's going on? Just Do Boxing. I enjoyed your show yesterday. I was in the audience listening to you. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my guy. Just Do Boxing did a great, excellent commentary yesterday. Enjoyed it in the late afternoon. What's going on? Edwin Volaton, DH in the building. What's going on? LaMarcus Robinson. Blessings to the Queen, Barbara D, and Aisha. How are you, sister Aisha? I hope you're doing well. Dwayne Jones, what's going on, man? Yeah, man. It should be interesting because shout out to everybody else. Big Block, Mike Mix, Andre Noble, what's happening? Easy number one. What's going on? Steven said, happy hump day, Fanon in the chat. Yeah, man. Today's actually, man, you know what? I work 7 days a week. So there is no hump day for me. The only time I take off is about 2 hours on Sunday morning. And I go late on Sunday morning, but I think I'm going to stop that. I think I'm going to start going at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings again. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to it's odd. Okay, it's moving. Yeah, I think I'm going to start going on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. again. I got to get my discipline back. But yeah, man, I was watching some fights, listening to some videos, and I just thought to myself, man, I don't really know if Terence Crawford is better than Gervonta Davis. As a fighter, I don't know if he's better. I have Terence Crawford as my number one guy, but I don't really know if he's better than Gervonta. Like talent-wise or skill-wise. I don't know if he's better. It's an honest question. I don't know if he's better. I don't know. I know he gets a lot more slack. It's like the opposite. Steven said, I see you grinding. We appreciate you. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, Steven. Yeah, man, I got to work, man. I got to work, man. I got to do it, man. We got to keep it going. You know, I feel like Tank got more power and is more quick. You got to look at it based on the best fighter on their resume. No, I don't. I don't have to look at it as far as their best fighter on their resume. Because that's the fighter. That's the other fighter. That's not them. I'm not sure how I could compare. They fight at two different weight classes and they fought different people. And just because one guy beat one guy doesn't mean the same guy wouldn't also beat somebody that same caliber. I have a hard time with the whole I have a hard time with the whole resume comparison thing. I think it's a bit of a cop-out, to tell you the truth. Honestly, I think it's a bit of a cop-out. Because any idiot like King can do that. King is a blithering idiot, and he can do that. Just say, well, tell me who he fought. Tell me who he fought. Tell me who he fought. Well, who did that guy fight? And who did that guy fight? And who did that? And we'll do that, man. We'll do that conversation for like 3 hours in circles. And you can't prove anything by that. Like, who did he fight? And then who did he fight? And who did he fight? And who did he fight? And yeah, but he didn't fight nobody. And who did he fight? Just it's over and over and over and over and over again. It's really I think that is the weakest way to go about doing it. I've seen that people do that. Like, what's up, Valley? Bubba 6 in the building. What's up? Man, Aisha. Oh, Wesley T. First of all, Wesley T. Thank you so much for your support last night. Said, man, I love your hard work. These DH people. Thank you, brother. Oh, the Devin Haney people. Yeah, they're terrible. Devin Haney has the worst fan base in all of boxing. Easy. The most diluted and overactive fan base in all of boxing. And Mrs. Gray, Aisha's sister, thank you for the support. Thank you for the tip of the hat this morning and sponsoring the video. Yeah, they're the worst. Absolutely terrible. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. The worst. The worst. Not a lick of logic amongst them. Not an ounce of logic between the whole group of them. I don't know. Crawford fans are up. No, nowhere near because they're not. They're not anywhere. No, Sid, man. The Devin Haney stuff is absolutely terrible. It's completely manufactured. It doesn't make sense. It's easily they lie on a regular basis. Like Terence Crawford fans don't lie as much. Now, I will tell you this whole thing about that stupid ass argument about Jaron Ennis going the WBO route. That's a terrible argument. Worse than NBA YoungBoy fans. I have no idea how somebody listens to that crap. I got no idea how anybody listens to that NBA YoungBoy garbage. I've listened to about 2.5 songs, like over the course of a couple years. I get his shit is terrible. Where's he from? Hey, top of the morning, Martin. Everybody in the chat. Yes, sir. Thank you, Daniel Gallimore. Appreciate you, brother. And Jay Mills with that color in the chat. Thank you, sir. Said best of mornings, Mr. Martin and chat fam. I don't know, man. I don't know Nick McKnight. I don't know if I don't know if Crawford's better than Davis. I don't know, man. I think Gervonta Davis is one of the most underrated fighters in boxing. I think he's one of the most underrated fighters in boxing. I think there are some things that, that's why I thought it was like, was he from New Orleans? Like, I knew he was from some, oh, God, he's terrible, though. Oh, my God, he's terrible. 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 God, dog, terrible, man. Like, I just think, like, what would Sammy Davis Jr. think if he, or somebody like Sam Cooke think if they saw NBA YoungBoy? Terrible. Zero talent. Well, obviously he's got some talent, but God, dog, he's really, really bad, bro. He's really, really bad. That's really bad music. Really bad. Really bad. Really bad. Like really bad. There's nothing. Yeah, I think I've seen the thing that got me is I've seen Gervonta do a lot of stuff. Like, I just think Gervonta is extremely underrated as a fighter. And it has a lot to do with all the trash you guys keep throwing at his ass because you're jealous of him. There's a lot of jealousy with Tank. I mean, the way that he's an ex. I mean that, but I'm not saying he's better than Terence Crawford because I think Terence Crawford is an excellent fighter. When you take away the conversations about belts, and you have to. Yeah, I've seen him switch. Yeah, I've seen him switch. Yep. Yeah, I've seen him switch. When did I see him? In the I saw him switch in the I think I saw him switch for a second in the Hector Garcia fight. Yeah, but even then, so what? I don't think Terence switches much. Terence is a southpaw. I don't really see Terence switch. I see Terence fight southpaw. Every once in a while, he'll switch to orthodox. For the most part, though, he fights southpaw. They only think he has power, yeah. What was his best performance to me? To me, I think several of them were his best. Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Jose Pedraza, Hector Garcia, Ryan Garcia, Isaac Cruz. I think he had a bunch of bunch of them. Bunch of them. It's hard for me to pick. All of those fights, he won all those fights in different ways. The one that struck me the most when I saw it, because I didn't really know as much about him, was the Jose Pedraza fight. Man, that kid beat up on Jose Pedraza every single solitary way you could beat somebody up. My favorite Tank fight is the Jose Pedraza fight or the Mario Barrios fight. Either the Jose Pedraza fight or the Mario Barrios fight, one or the other. Or the Leo Santa Cruz fight. Leo Santa Cruz fight was fucking brutal, man. Like Leo Santa Cruz, that Leo Santa Cruz performance was like spectacular. Because of the way Leo Santa Cruz fought. And Leo Santa Cruz out there shoe shining, throwing a million fucking punches. And just to watch the way he broke down, the way he deflected those shots, and he walked the guy down, the way he parried him, countered him, the counter punching in that shit was crazy. I mean, he just got a lot of really spectacular fights, man. I mean, he's that motherfucker can fight. Like, excuse my language, mama, but god dang. Of course I cuss. I've always cussed. Shona, though, left a comment on Twitter. I'm sorry. Hey, well, welcome to the comment on Twitter. I didn't know you could comment on Twitter. Dope. What's going on, show? Shout out to Twitter, man. Wow, look at this. Very few people, most people watch on YouTube. Never knew you curse. It's all good, bro. Yeah, I do. I curse like a sailor. I hold back on cursing. I've gotten better. I mean, he's a spectacular fighter. Like, he's really a spectacular fighter. Sensational to watch, man. Sensational to watch. I went to that Leo Santa Cruz fight. It looked better on television. I couldn't, because you couldn't hear it, you couldn't see it from the angles. But yeah, man, it was during COVID too. So even though I was ringside, I was still a little bit further back than I wanted to be. Just a spectacular fighter. But Terence Crawford's a spectacular fighter as well. But not the entire. And they fight some ways. They fight in a similar fashion. They both let the fight come to them. Yeah, Fonseca was another fight that Gervonta let come to him. I think Gervonta is one of the smartest fighters in boxing. I said I like the Tank Leo fight more based on what you said for now. Yeah, I loved it, man. Anyway, there's been a lot of really, really good fights for him. The unfortunate thing is that it gets lost in all the Devin Haney crybaby shit, crybaby stuff. Now you're gonna make me not cuss because it's on, Now you get me feeling self-conscious about Kyle Porter. Think carefully about what you said. Terence is more about fighting and less talking on Twitter. You tripping? Terence Crawford tweets more than Gervonta does. Shout out to New Orleans. Terence Crawford talks more than, dude, honestly, man. Yeah, Arrow's resume is probably deeper than Terence Crawford's is. Probably a little deeper. A little deeper. Because he didn't have as much time fighting strictly in-house fights over a Top Rank. I think his resume be a little deeper. Not as top heavy because Terence got Arrow. But I don't know. Kyle just be saying stuff sometimes. Terence is like king Twitter fingers. King Twitter fingers. Do we think Tank is more skilled than Shakur? I think Shakur is the most skilled at 135. If you listen to what he says about sparring Terence Crawford, it seems to make like if he's on another level. I don't think I didn't ask who's more skilled. And I don't know. I don't think Shakur is any more skilled than Gervonta is. I don't think he's any more skilled. I think he is as extremely skilled. But again, like, man, look, it's not all about that, man. Talent comes into play. There is more than just skill. There's also talent that makes a big difference. And when you're talking about who a good fighter is, you have to take into consideration who's talented. Like, we leave that stuff out. That's like a cop-out people use all the time. Like, you want to sit there and look at every little detail. And I'm telling you, man, sometimes I don't really enjoy that as much as some other people do. I'm serious, man. Like, sometimes, man, it's a fight to a certain extent. And yes, skills are important, but talent is important too. Those guys are not getting there up to that level and doing that stuff if they're not talented. Why leaving talent out of the equation is like leaving vertical leap and quickness and all that out of basketball. If that was the case, you'd have a bunch of WNBA players would be in the NBA scoring 30. If it was, it's just skills is all it is. Nah, I ain't buying it. Talent comes into play, and he's more talented. Like, Devin Haney's very skilled. Gervonta Davis is much more talented. There's a big talent gap between the two of them. And there's a talent gap. I think there's maybe a talent gap between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Like, Terence is very, very talented. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is very, very, very talented. Very talented. And that has a lot to do with it. And I think people really underestimate that. Butta B. Moore said, Fanon, are all the 140-pounders scared of Matias? No, they're not scared of Matias. It's very unfortunate that we live in this news culture right now where that's what's everybody says that every day. And I don't think it's going to change, man. It's a lot of talking. Matias, I don't think people are scared of Matias. I'm not thinking anybody's going to be in a rush to fight him for various reasons, but I don't think there's no reason for me to believe that they're scared of him. No. I'll give him more credit than that. I don't think Teofimo Lopez is scared of him. I think Teofimo Lopez is probably the guy that's willing to fight anybody. Teofimo. Of everybody that really is willing to fight anybody, I think Teofimo Lopez has proved it more than anybody else has of those fighters. Teofimo. Not Devin, not Shakur. Gervonta is kind of an off situation because they got to find a way to get to him. That's just a fact. And it is what it is. But even Gervonta has proven that he's willing to fight these guys. But, you know. Like, Teofimo is the guy that I think, like, you take Gervonta out of it, I think Teo is the one that Teofimo Lopez is really the one that will fight anybody. I believe him when he says he'll fight anybody. I don't believe Devin when he says he'll fight anybody. Because Teo has been beat up. He doesn't fear the outcome. No, I don't think that's it. I just think he will fight anybody. He fought Lomachenko. He fought Josh Taylor. I think he'll fight anybody. I believe when he says he'll fight Terence Crawford, that he'll fight Terence Crawford. I believe him. Teo sent Matias an offer. He just had an injury. Yeah, there you go. So Teo, I do believe that is. I don't think that was ever disputed. Man, Troy said, real talk, you put Clay Moraine in a stretcher. Hey, look, man. Somebody had to catch a body. All right, every once in a while, I got to catch a body. Every once in a while. Keep y'all honest. I don't know what the question you asked was, Kyle. Can you re-answer that question? Yeah, I think Teo's the one that's willing to fight anybody. Me. That's my opinion. I think Shakur will fight him too. I'm suspect on whether Devin wants to fight all those guys or not. When he didn't fight Shakur. That is what put it. That's what made me that, and the way he behaves about Gervonta. No, I think Devin's really in it for the money. I believe they're in it for the money. I don't believe they're in it. All that other, I don't believe that. I believe that they are really, like everybody is, that they are primarily in it for the money. Because every move that they've made has been about money. Everyone has been about money. When you look at what they do and you don't pay attention to what they say. What's going on, D Free? Shout out to DC. Look, man, I'm not talking about what people say. I'm talking about what people do. If I didn't get to hear any of their words coming out of their mouth and their claims and all of that stuff. What's going on, Marino? Lelaine? Man, what happened to DeMariano, man? I can't wait till Errol and Terence. I can't wait till Errol and Terence fight again, man. So we can get some cats, some long lost people back on the chat. Tio is the luckiest fighter in the world. He lost to Lomachenko, but the judges gave him the win. He lost to Ortiz, but Ortiz didn't soundly defeat him, so the judges gave it to Tio. No, then you got to give Devin as the luckiest fighter in the world. I would say Devin's luckier than him. Easy. Devin got a war to get him a shot at Kambosos. How more lucky can you be than that? Devin didn't have to. Devin had the zone. Devin had the zone pop up and start paying. The zone jump out there and start paying all kind of money for fighters that didn't have a name, and he took advantage of that. And then when Kambosos got his hands on all the belts, then shoot, he was able to fight him because there was a war in Ukraine. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody more lucky than that. You know, but luck favors the prepared. Now, Devin is definitely the most lucky. That luck, pure luck, that's pure luck right there. That's pure luck, man. That's pure luck. But don't squander it. No, I don't think he ducked Loma. No. I'm very hard. I am hands down. I have a definition for the word duck. First of all, I didn't believe that Lomachenko was really calling out Gervonta. He called out Floyd Mayweather Jr. and switched it up. I remember doing a video about that. Lomachenko called out Floyd because Floyd said something about Lomachenko. Ashton Silva? The fuck is an Ashton? Brother, he is only got 11 fights, man. He did have his first 10-round fight and beat Falco. I think I've seen Falco anymore. I couldn't really tell you, man, to tell you the truth. I couldn't really tell you. I haven't seen him fight. I haven't seen him fight. And he's not popped onto a major card, though, but I'll keep my eyes out for him. For sure. Orlando in LA. So what's your thoughts on Ashton Silva, and do you think he can beat Ryan in the future? I don't know. I got to see him. Honestly, man, I couldn't tell you. I have never seen him fight. I've never seen him fight. And he's a prospect. So, hey, man, if he keeps working, yeah, why not? How old is he, though? $20, and he's at, yeah, so I don't know. Was he going to still be there? It's a 2-year pro. He was at 122? Is that a typo? And he's up to 140 already? In 2 years or 4 years? Okay, in 4 years. Yeah, he got to get more active. For a fighter that young, 2 times, fighting twice in 2023, and he's only got 11 fights, he's probably got to get more active. Because at that stage of your career, I think you should be fighting 4 or 5 times, like he had 3 fights in 2022. He needs more fights. 4-year pro, he should have like 15, 16 fights. He should have a few more fights on his resume. That's what I would say. Just look at it from there. But hey, man, maybe he's so good that people ain't trying to get in the ring with him. I'll keep a lookout for him, though. Thank you for your support, for sure. Aston Silva, we'll definitely keep a lookout for him. Hey, man, why? Hey, Kyle, I got a question for you. Why you always care what somebody else, why people support people? If they have a belief, you always want to look into the reason people say something instead of looking at the truth of what they say. I don't really care why you're saying what you're saying. I care what you're saying and whether or not what you're saying is true or not. Like, whenever I talk to you, Kyle, I always feel like you're trying to get to my motive. What difference does my motive mean? What difference does my motive if what I'm doing, if what I say is if it's logically sound and factually true? What difference does it make what my motive is? I think you engage in something that is completely unnecessary. I don't need to know why a cook has a job. It doesn't, I know it's not in me. I'm listening to what you keep saying. You say it to me, you're saying it to other people. I know you're not talking to me. I'm just saying, what difference does it make if a Russian supports a Russian fighter if the Russian fighter is good? If a Russian fighter supports Artur Beterbiev and they say, I think Artur Beterbiev is the best fighter at 175, what difference does it make? Because Artur Beterbiev has got 3 belts. He's got 100% knockout percentage. He fought in the Olympics against Alexander Usyk and was putting some work on Alexander Usyk in the Olympics. That dude is clearly the same level fighter as Alexander Usyk is. So what difference does it make to me if somebody says it who's Russian? If what he said is complete bunk, it's enough that what he says is bunk. I don't need to get into your motivation for why you say it. Kyle Porter, who cares though? Who cares? You're labeling people. That's unfair to people. You're trying to make assumptions about what people think because of their culture. So what? Either what they say is true or not true. Who cares what their rationale is? Like, not what their rationale is. Who cares what their motivation is? Their motivation could be good, could be bad, could be indifferent. The question is what they're saying is what they're saying true, and is it logically sound? If what they say is true, it's true. If the conclusion that they draw is logically sound, then it's logically sound. It makes no difference what their motivation is. None. It doesn't make any difference that Michael Jordan's mother is Michael Jordan's mother if she says, my son is a great basketball player, because it's logically sound and factually true. He's an NBA player. He's a Hall of Famer. He's won 6 championships. Doesn't matter if his mother's saying it just because believes that because it's her son. What if I said my son is an all-time NBA great? My son just got out of high school. So how could I say that? That's not factually true. So it doesn't matter whether or not I said it because it was my son. It matters that what I said was not true. That's the thing that gets frustrating for me. And really, as I go through like what irritates me about conversations I have about boxing, it's that. That's what Frequent Flyer does. What he says is logically inconsistent, and it's factually not true. If he was being factually accurate and logically consistent, there'd be no problem. There'd be no problem at all. The problem is that's not what you are. Loving this boxing talk. Thank you, Maria. Maria, thank you for the color that is so needed during these dry times in boxing. Fight game. What's happening with you, sir?
Good morning, Flan. How are you today?
Man, I'm well, man. I'm just, out here talking this boxing, thinking about stuff. What's on your mind?
Absolutely. So listen, last night, it's crazy that you have this topic today because last night I sit down and I watched the Gervonta versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And I got a question in the comment. So the comment is, or the question is, what do you think? Because I hear a lot of people saying, man, I don't want to see no Pitbull Cruz. Man, Pitbull Cruz is a good fighter. And that fight was a really good fight. Like, Tank really had to box, and he really had to show a few things. And people act like they don't want to see him fight again. I think that Pitbull is a good fighter, and he would beat a lot of people that they're fans of, that they talk shit about. And my question to you is, why do you think people say that about Pitbull Cruz? Like, no, we don't want to see no Pitbull Cruz. Why do you think people say that after that fight?
Well, I think we just have a very negative culture in boxing and a hypocritical culture in boxing in the YouTube circles that we talk boxing in. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy because on one hand, you say you want to see the guy fight more often, but then on the other hand, you don't want to see him fight anybody but one person. Also, I think that there is just a lot of clout chasing on Gervonta Davis, specifically from Devin Haney fans, who have completely attached Gervonta in any move that is not Devin is a bad move. Every fight of Gervonta has been a bad fight for them. If he fought Rolly Romero was a bad fight. Isaac Cruz lost. He lost against Isaac Cruz for like 2 or 3 days after the fight. And he made and Gervonta was making excuses by saying his hand got hurt. But then when it was time to make the rematch, they don't want to see the rematch. They don't want to see Rayo Valenzuela. They say, some people say they want to fight. They want to see Frank Martin only because they don't think that fight's really going to happen. That's what it looks like to me. But I just think for the most part, you're probably talking to Devin Haney fans. It's probably who you're talking to, who shit on everything he does. Doesn't matter what he does, who he fights. It's garbage. He moved up to 140 before 140 fought Mario Barrios, and they crapped on that too.
Yeah.
Just doesn't matter. He could fight. They fought Ryan Garcia. They crapped on Ryan Garcia. And now they're praising Devin for doing the same thing because this is the better version of Ryan. Last time I checked, Ryan looked like crap his last fight at 140. That's what they said. Like,
right.
I could have sworn I heard them say bogus, fake Floyd Mayweather Jr. shoulder roll, and his fight didn't sell out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. That's what I think it is.
And one more thing before I go. I hear people saying, Tank don't fight nobody. Who were these guys that he's supposed to be fighting? I mean, besides the obvious ones like Devin and Shakur, those are the only two, that he hasn't fought. But everybody else, I see him beating everybody else. I see him beating those two too. But who are these guys that he's supposed to be fighting since he don't fight nobody? And you can speak on that. I got to go. But,
okay.
Thank you for your time. I'll listen. And I'll send some color a little later.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support, Fight Game.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Peace, brother. Yeah, my answer is they're supposed to do what Devin tells them to do. Period. Supposed to do what he has to do what Devin tells him to do. Period. Period. That's it. Period. Period. And then there's the anti-PBC crowd, and it just doesn't matter with them. I should also say that, of course, there's the top rank crowd. The top rank crowd, no fight the PBC does is good. None of them. They're saying people preying on. Honestly, man, I think a lot of it is that the PBC doesn't pay for media. They don't pay for media. If they paid for media, some of this would be limited. Some of it would be limited. But Top Rank is willing to do favors for the media. Bill Haney straight up bought YouTube media, like bought and paid for. And y'all, and they ain't even hiding it because their shit is so obvious, right? Hey, Nick McKnight said, I believe the body of work, that must be Crawford has the edge, power, skill, and the ability to adapt, and the key to win. I think Gervonta's ability to adapt is just as good as Terence Crawford's is. And I think Gervonta's fight, the people that he fought, I think he's fought a higher level of fighter for the majority of his fights. I think he has, but I could be wrong. I just think I think Gervonta's just as good, could be just as good as him. I'll edge it to Terence Crawford, but I mean, really, I don't know. I really don't know. Because the way that Gervonta Davis is able to get on the inside of those really tall fighters, I've never seen Terence Crawford have to do that. I've seen Gervonta fight somebody his own height twice. I saw him fight when he's fought guys his own size. I don't think he's a more complete fighter than Gervonta. Gervonta is an absolutely complete fighter. He's an absolutely complete fighter. I've never seen Terence Crawford walk down a big guy like that. I've never seen him do it. No, I don't. He's never fought a guy that much bigger than him. You've never seen him in there with somebody that at that size disadvantage of Mario Barrios. No, that's his fourth weight division. Terence has only fought in 3 divisions. And really only 2. Because he started at 140 and then he went to 147. Spence is not that much taller than him. He's not that much bigger than him. He's not that much. The size difference between Gervonta and Leo Santa Cruz was pronounced. And Leo Santa Cruz ain't no dude. You got to understand how small Gervonta is. You got to understand how small Gervonta is. Hey, Ziggy said for checking Kyle. Yeah, Kyle, you got to stop that, man. Really, seriously, Kyle, I'm asking you politely to please stop that, man. Because you're always searching for bias in people. Like it's like you're basically indirectly accusing people of being biased. And there's no need because somebody can be biased. The question isn't whether or not you're biased. The question is whether you are factually accurate and logically sound. If you are factually accurate and logically sound, there shouldn't be a problem with whether or not you have a preference or not. See what I'm saying? And I don't think you understand my point when I say that. Because I get that all the time. Dude, you can click the link, Kyle. You've done it to do it to me. You do it to me, Kyle. You do it to me. No, I'm not saying Kyle's a shady dude. I'm telling you that's what you're doing in it. You do it to me. People do it to me all the time. Man, that's huge. Man, Fanon, here's 200 for you keeping it 100 with us. Damn, I love this channel and the members. I already know you. Man, I appreciate the hell out of that. You deserve it and earned it. Hit the like button, guys and gals. That's so big, man. Man, that's so big. Shout out to John Bowie. That's a big one, dog. That's a big one. I'm gonna call that a John Bowie, dog. That's a big one. I'm gonna call that a John Bowie, man. That's called a John Bowie, bro. You pulled a John Bowie. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Actually, David Williams, it should be called a David Williams because you're the one that does those. Thank you so much. Big Dog Willie said Devin can build a snowman out of rain. Devin does not get frostbite. Devin bites frost. Actually, you should call that shit a David Williams, really. I just realized now that's a David Williams. Devin invented airplanes because he's tired of being the only person that can fly. Bill says so. That's crazy, man. That's hilarious, man. You be coming up with them. Kyle Porter, I need for you to click the link. I need for you to click my link. No, I'm not. I'm serious. I got to correct that shit. That is literally a fucking David Williams. That is a solo David Williams right there, man. Dog, that man said that man don't get frostbite. He bites frost. You're cold. Dog, how are you cold when you bite the frost? Hey, man, that is so good, dog. That is so good. Dog, seriously, man, that shit is so good, Big Dog Willie. That shit is classic, dog. Like, that is some Muhammad Ali level. That's some Muhammad Ali level shit talk right there, dog. I cannot lie, bro. I cannot lie, man. Keys to the Game Boxing said, I can see the argument. Bud's best opponents have been Porter and Spence. Tank is almost at a disadvantage each fight. Yeah, dog. See, I'm just telling you. Now, I'm not saying that he's better than Terence. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, man, y'all sleeping on the greatness of this kid, man. And he performed on the biggest stage, man. He performs on the biggest stage. And he performs on the biggest stage, man. And he ain't got no janky fights. None. He has no janky ass fights. Bud got at least 2 super janky fights. Super janky fights. Bud got 2 super janky fights. 2 super janky. Super janky. Like beyond janky. Man, thank you, Keys to the Game. Sorry, man, for missing that originally. Sorry, man, I got blinded by the red. I can't. Thank you, Keys to the Gaming. Yeah, man. He's got some janky shit. And Giovanni Walker, I'm trying to told ya. Much love, there, Giovanni Walker. Hey, my guy, thank you so much in that Cash App. Mr. Williams says, I watch every day. I should help keep the lights on. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Because that's how you're able to do it, dog. For real. Thank you, Big. Thank you, Big B 15233. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man, for helping you support the channel, man. Because that ain't no lie. I don't want to have to lie to y'all and tell y'all dumb shit that are flat out stories. Anyway, man, I wish y'all Negroes would stop lying so damn much. Hey, Big Dog Willie said, Devin ain't delusional ass fans make it easy for me. No, seriously, man. Devin does not get frostbite. Devin bites frost. He invented airplanes because he was tired of being the only person that could fly. Great. No joke, Big Dog. No joke. Hey, Big Dog, Willie Dog, your career, bro. I'm lying right now. Click the link. How am I lying, Lone Wolf? How am I lying right now? Let me know. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Let me know so I can correct it. Let me know the lie so I can correct it. What's up, Ox? Tank isn't responsible for giving other people. What's up, Echo? What's on your mind?
I'm good, Fallon. How are you? Is it morning there or afternoon? What is it?
It is early morning here.
Oh, okay. So it's morning. I mean, it's afternoon here, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, I was reading.
Sir, what's on your mind?
No, I was just reading your thing. Somebody gave you $200, man. That's good. I think you deserve it because you work really hard on this, and You always give good advice and information. No, you don't have to thank me, man. It's cool. Yeah, what I've got in my mind, I mean, everybody's judging everybody too harshly or not judging people enough. You've got people judging Tank like he don't do anything. You've got judging Terence Crawford like he's the best thing since Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, I'm not saying either one are good or bad, but you can only fight who you've got available. And the most important thing is really in boxing nowadays is to keep busy. And if you've not fought for a long time, people kind of forget you, like Keith Thurman. I mean, people are not giving him a lot of chance with Tim Bazoo because of the inactivity. And I understand that. But that doesn't mean anything if he's got the skills. But as far as Terence Crawford's concerned, I mean, he's beat everybody that he's fought. And it's not been really any real competition, and that's probably why people think he's fighting bums. And to be honest, I mean, he's not fighting bums. He's just fighting people that are very how can I put it? Some of them are very, very skilled. Porter's a skilled fighter, he's a world champion. So when people call people bums, oh, he beat that bum Porter, that's unfair because, to be honest, you shouldn't. This is what makes me angry. People calling people bums. And it really makes me angry because these guys are in there fighting for their lives. And there's many people died in the last, 100 years, and maybe 500 people over. And people forget this, and the people that have died, there have been some greats that have died, and people don't even know who they are. And there's people that have died that are nobody even knows. I mean, I can mention 4 people now, and nobody would even know who is who. Anyway, going back to Tank, I mean, it would be great if he could fight what we would call like an Oscar Floyd fight. And really, there's not a few people that he could fight that would give him that. And that's a shame because they're in the wrong weight divisions, like Haney and Theo. And these are the guys that could give him the actual, what would I call it? Yeah, the coming out party fights, just to prove how great he is. Just like Theo beat Lomachenko, that was a good fight for him to win. Even though a lot of people thought that Lomachenko was injured. I mean, beating Kambosos wasn't really a big fight in the sense because people expected Theo to win. But when Theo beat Josh Taylor, that was a great win for him. But then again, he was injured as well. So what I'm trying to say, I was going to leave this now and I'm going to go. But people should stop calling people bums because it's disrespectful. It's really disrespectful. And the people that do this have never been in the ring. They don't even know what it's like to train. And people who say people are weight bullies. Devin Haney is not a weight bully. He just grew out of the weight. To lose all that weight, to get down to lightweight would basically kill him because you look at him on the scale. I mean, he's walking around with, around that time when he's due to weigh in 2 or 3 days, he's probably got 6% body fat. Now, all he's going to lose from then to make that weight is water. If you lose a lot of water out of your body, your muscles are not strong. You've got more chance of getting killed in the ring also, which is another thing because you've got less fluid in the body and your brain needs fluid. As soon as you dehydrate yourself, your brain is going to be moving around more because the fluid in the brain is not going to stop the brain from bouncing around in the skull. Anyway, I just wanted to say this before I go. Stop stop calling people bums. You've got no idea what is going on with all this shit and all this weight bully. Just give the fighters the respect that they've got, whether they're world champions or not. And not everybody's a bum because he's not a great. Anyway, this is all I've got to say. I'm going to go now, Fanon. I'll leave you to it. Anyway, you have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.
You as well. You as well, Echo man. Pleasure to hear you, man. Great thoughts there, sir. All right, man. Get back. Always good to hear from Echo. Very well thought and very well structured argument there. Logically sound and factually accurate. Hey, my guy, thank you, King. J.O. in the building said, cause Devin bites Frost from Tony Brown, bro. Thank you, man. And then my guy said, he who agrees with fire said, damn, I didn't know John Bowie passed away. Salute for 9 and RIP John. Truly sorry to hear. Yes, sir. We're going to do the 10 count for my guy, John Bowie again. All right. We got Curtis, then Nick, then Jeff Brooks. Curtis, what's going on, man?
Hey, Fernand, how you doing this morning?
I'm chilling, mister. I said Curtis, Hendricks Curtis. It's like you got a last name, then a first name.
Yeah. Hey, Fernand, I want to talk to you real quick about 2 things.
Yes, sir.
The first thing I want to ask you, have you been checking out this guy, Abdullah Mason?
Yes.
He's bad, ain't he?
Yeah, he is, man. That was a hell of an overhand left. I mean,
Yeah,
that was a hell of an overhand left he landed in that fight to end it. Yes, sir. I had just turned the fight on, too, to see him, drop that dude.
I want to watch him for a couple more fights and, become a fan of his. But I think he could be good for boxing in the future.
Oh, for sure. Definitely excited about Abdullah Mason.
And the next thing I want to talk to you about, you know how you was mentioning a minute ago about luckiest boxers or something like that you were saying?
Yes.
I think the luckiest boxer has to be Devin because, like, how do you move up to 140? And I might be wrong, but how do you go from 135 to 140 and you automatically get a title shot? I would think that boxers got to work their way up to that. He went in at 140 and got a title shot, just bam, off, I don't understand that. When you got a guy,
was the WBC. No, I mean, that happens. That particular thing happens because he's the WBC champion at 135. So, and I think that's a network thing. So I think a lot of fighters will do that. Will go up and immediately get shots at championships in the next weight division. If Gervonta wanted to go up to 140, he would immediately get a shot at the WBA. Terence, if he wants to move up, he'll get a shot immediately at the WBA, at one of those championships at 154. Especially, I think when you're an undisputed champion, you'll get that. So, but I do think he is the luckiest, but for other reasons. The fact that he even got a shot at George Kambosos, and the fact that he ever got that contract with DAZN. Otherwise, he would have had to be laboring in turmoil over there on Showtime for years before he got a shot. At that.
Yeah, I'm not a Devin fan, but I'm sitting here looking at the 140-pound fighters. It's like now, like he the number one guy.
I mean, they act like he is, but I mean, I think the number one guy at 140 is Teofimo Lopez. Because Teofimo Lopez beat Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor was the man at 140. You beat the man, you should be the man, and that's what Teofimo Lopez did. He beat Josh Taylor. He didn't look good against Jermaine Ortiz, but shoot, Lomachenko didn't look good with Jermaine Ortiz. So Jermaine Ortiz can fight, man. And I don't know if Devin's going to look good with Jermaine Ortiz either. I think Jermaine is just an underrated fighter. And as a result of being an underrated fighter, he gave Teofimo Lopez a very good fight. And it is what it is, man. But I think Teofimo Lopez if I had to say who the man is one of two people. It's either Teofimo, because he beat Josh Taylor, or it's Matias, because Matias has the most defenses. I think he's had a few defenses. I think. But I think it's Teo.
Okay. All right, Fernand, I'll let you get to your next fan behind me, and I'll stay tuned in the back.
All right, man.
All right, later.
Peace. You got a problem here. Teo's trash. Josh Taylor lost to Catterall. Well, okay, no worry. Then Devin is trash because Regis lost to Josh Taylor. Divine, if Josh Taylor's not the best, then neither is Devin, because Josh Taylor beat Regis. And the only person Devin beat was Regis. Josh Taylor beat Regis. Josh Taylor beat Regis. You got a problem there because Josh Taylor beat Regis. You know who else Josh Taylor beat? Josh Taylor also beat Jose Ramirez. He beat Regis Prograis and Jose Ramirez. Josh Taylor was an undisputed champion. If you can't say that that man was the best when he was undisputed and had never lost, then don't tell me Devin was the best at 135. Don't tell me that Terence Crawford is the best at 140. If you don't think 147, if you don't think undisputed means you're the best. Because the fact of the matter is, Josh Taylor did not lose to Jack Catterall. What's going on, Nick? Nick, you're on mute. Nick, you're on mute. All right, Nick, I'm going to put you in the back, Nick, because you're not ready. Jeffrey Brooks, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Fernand? All right.
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, brother. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. Hey, before I get started, say what I want to talk about. Hey, you got like a Instagram page? Because I
Yes.
got like a posting with it was like a picture of the old Crunk gym with Tommy Hearns standing outside of it right before it got burned down. And
Okay.
I was gonna share it with you.
Yeah,
You know,
I got an Instagram. Yeah, Phenom Boxing. Send me a note on Instagram.
what for non-boxing?
Yeah. Phenom Boxing on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna send you that. I was looking at the topic about who would make the better fight between Bud and Gervonta. To me, I mean, it's really all about your opinion. It's to each his own with that. To me, because they both got good techniques, and I mean, whoever you go with, it'll be a good pick, really. To me, Gervonta's style, he got more of a Floyd Mayweather style type of boxing to me, except he got that one punch knockout power. It's like he makes sure he gets out the way. He's not gonna take too many big shots. You know what I'm saying? If he do catch one, he ain't gonna take too many of them. So it's kind of hard to catch him. And if you catch him, you're gonna have to catch him right on the money. But it's like he's looking for that one shot. He'll fight with you, he'll box with you, don't get me wrong, but I think he strategized a little bit better than Bud, because he's looking for that one shot to land to possibly knock you out. And it's just, Bud is more so like, I'm gonna fight this fight accordingly to how you fight me. So meaning I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go from here to here to here on you. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you gonna come at me with it. So Bud is more of he'll go toe to toe with you. I think he's more of I go head up with you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really about how you view that. Kind of like the pound for pound. Who's your best pound for pound? Yeah, that's all really a matter of opinion, really.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
I'm asking you for your opinion. It's very clear. It's very clear. It's all opinion. So that's what I'm asking for. Is your opinion.
Oh yeah. I mean, we really won't know unless they actually go ahead and lock gloves up, and which that's never gonna happen.
No, because they're not the same size. They're not the same size people.
They're not the same size people, and Bud gonna try to go up the way up.
Devin is 168 because Terence Crawford's Devin size.
Right. But if you put them in the same weight class, who will win? It's kind of hard to say, because I think Crawford got that reach. He's gonna keep Gervonta at bay with his reach size. So Gervonta's looking to get in close up on you because his reach not too long. So he's really looking to get real close up on you and catch you with a hook. But I think that jab, I think Bud's jab would keep him at bay pretty much. And that's going to force him to box, you know what I'm saying? Box him for the whole 12 rounds. So, I mean, it's kind of like I say, it's kind of hard to say who will actually really come out on top. As I know Gervonta will eventually catch him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to go the whole fight without catching him. So it's really about is that one catch is it gonna drop him or is it is it gonna just they're gonna just go the distance with it,
Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. He's just too small, man. They're just too small. I mean, Gervonta, I'm telling you, Gervonta started his career for one fight at 126. He's really a dude that can make 130. 135 is the stretch for him. Terence Crawford started his career at 140 and then moved down to 135, then back to 140, then to 147. I think Bud has been a welterweight for a long time. You'll never see Gervonta at welterweight. He's just too small, man. He's just too small. Hey, I got two more cats right behind you, though, man.
Okay, that's cool. That's all I want to say.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate how fair-minded you are, too, man.
Oh, yeah, well,
you're very balanced.
We was only going at it with doing the whole Bud Crawford and Earl Spence thing, man. It was just, man,
But I understand. Think though now. I have because I think you're honest. And there's so many people that are not honest that come up here and they're really just trying to win. And you're really thinking through it. You're really going through the thought process. I'm trying to decide what it is that you think. And that's just a bit of honesty
that's just like the David Benavidez versus Terence Crawford. I mean, hey, I'm a Bud fan, but I'm still be realistic with that. No, I mean, the size, it's a size difference with that. You know what I'm saying? He's too big. Even Bud Crawford said, no, I'm not fighting him. He's too big, So, it is, you got to pick your battles wisely with that. If it's maybe one person, two people you can beat at 168, then shoot for them. Go ahead and knock them off and get the hell on.
All right, man. Yeah, let me get to Nick and then we get to this other dude and then I'll holler back at you, brother.
Okay.
All right, man. Get back.
All right.
Real quick. Hey, not even real quick. Really, thank you. Hey, TT Seeker, my guy, Mr. Ramsey said fans need to realize how small Gervonta Davis is. Very, very small. These one mind boxes said these fanboys, especially Haney fans, definitely sleeping on Tank's skills and IQ. Let that boy shine. Take off the shades. Yeah, man. And no joke, bro. They need to just come on, man. Get that man his credit, man. God dog, y'all some hating ass dudes. Full-time haters, bro. Devin Haney got the most hating ass fans. Just super hating ass fans. And Bill Haney's king hater. Like, God dog, man. Stop hating on that man. Stop hating on that kid, man. Nick McKnight, what's up, man?
Hey, sorry about that earlier. I was looking up some stuff.
No worries.
Went on a walk. Anyways, I'm gonna get on the Crawford bandwagon here. Seems like Tank, don't get me wrong, he is a great fighter. He does set his shot up. He has his boxing IQ is off the radar. Don't get me wrong. But if we're talking boxing acumen, they both can adapt to whatever their opponent throws into. I just lean towards Crawford because his arm reach is, what is it, 72, somewhere 74, somewhere in between there. He's got long arms, but he's got power too. And a lot of people are overlooking. He's had 9, 10, 11 straight KOs somewhere along the way. They've all been KOs at 147. And he did start at 140. He went down to 135, which is in the same weight class that Davis is in. So I mean, if we're talking, we put them both in the ring at 135. I've never seen Tank switch up. Maybe that one time I saw him kind of go. I forgot who he was fighting. I think it was Garcia. Maybe. I think I saw him fight up. But Bud, if you got to remember, he started orthodox. Developed his southpaw, but he's mainly a strong his jab is his strong hand, which is his right hand. So when he goes to southpaw, he can. I mean, that's like a a straight coming right down the pipe.
Yeah, but
But
my question was not necessarily what they would do when they fight each other at that weight class, because they're not the same size. They're not anywhere near the same size person. Like,
no.
I've stood right next to Terence Crawford. I've stood right next to Gervonta Davis. They are radically different size human beings. They are not like, it's like this. They're not the same. My thing is, if just as far as what their skill sets go and that against the people that they are going to fight, not necessarily fight each other, because it's like, they're really not anywhere near the same size. I know they've fought in the same weight class, but that's kind of like saying that that Terence Crawford is 154 pounder. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he can fight it. He'll eventually will fight at 154.
Sure.
But just like Gervonta eventually fought at 140. But one is really a welterweight and the other one's really a lightweight.
Okay, with that being said, aren't Gervonta and Manny Pacquiao the same size?
Hell no.
I mean, because they're both 5'5", and I think they both are like an inch or two. Manny Pacquiao's 5'5", Gervonta's 5'5".
No, they're not the same size. No, they're not the same size.
Are we talking girth here? I don't understand.
I'm saying literally, they're not the same size. If you look at the size, you look at Manny Pacquiao fought. Manny Pacquiao was like 21 years old, something like that. That's when he was at 135 pounds. When he was fighting at 114, like those lower weight classes, man, he was a teenager at the time. No, Manny is not. Floyd, they're not the same size guy. I've not been next to Manny, but nah, I wouldn't say they are. But what difference does that make? If say they are the same size, what difference does that make?
Well, I'm just saying that Manny's an 8 division world champ, right? They're both the same height. Now I'd say the arm difference is literally almost identical.
Yeah, but what difference does that make to him being better than Terence Crawford? What difference does that make?
Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just size wise. We're talking about size now, so I'm going size wise. We're talking.
So you think? Let me make it. So you think everybody that's 5'4" should be fighting at welterweight?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Because Manny's a lot. I'm trying to tell you, man. Manny is bigger. Manny's I think the same size, roughly the same size as Juan Manuel Marquez. He's big. He's just as big as Tim Bradley. So I don't really think that I think that Manny Pacquiao is probably bigger than Gervonta. But because like Leo Santa Cruz is bigger than Gervonta.
Yeah, height wise, yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean he's just bigger than him, man.
But he's a smaller guy to me. To me, he is. Santa Cruz. I think he's smaller.
A smaller guy than Tank? No.
I think like I'm talking like body width, not
body width. No, I'm telling you, I was standing right next to the dudes. Tank is smaller than Nonito Donaire. Tank is smaller than Nonito Donaire.
Right. Okay.
Nonito Donaire the biggest Nonito Donaire has ever fought, I think, was 126.
But Santa Cruz has fought most of his fights at what? 120?
Yeah.
122, 130.
Because those guys are draining down. Those guys are draining down. Tank's not draining. Tank's really not drained down. See, some fighters, like, for example, remember Chris Bird?
Yes. Yep.
Chris Bird was never a heavyweight. He just could never get a fight. He could just never get a fight at middleweight. So they were like, hey, man, we're looking for a heavyweight. We're not looking for a light heavyweight. So Chris Bird had to fight heavyweights because he wasn't given the opportunity. Gervonta wasn't signed to a promoter like Leo Santa Cruz and those guys when he started. So he wasn't going to be getting fights at 126 pounds. I mean, Gervonta Davis and Gary Russell Jr. are about the same size. But Gary was able to get fights at 126, where Gervonta was never going to get a fight at 126 because he was a dangerous southpaw, big punching southpaw that didn't have a promoter. He only got fights and only got championship fights fighting bigger guys. So I think that the optics on him are a little bit off. Hey, I got one guy right behind you, Nick. I'm gonna let you finish up though.
Let me say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I think the thing about Gervonta that gets overlooked, at least in my eyes, the way he's a smaller guy, but everybody thinks he can go to where he needs to go because his power is show-stopping. And I think that's a lot of things that's overlooked too, because he can stop a lot of the dudes in 140, and that's just by setting them up and getting them out of there. He's already proved that. I think everyone's saying he's too small. I'm like, man, that power and that skill and that speed and his footwork is going to neutralize a lot of the size. And I don't give a shit what anybody says about Devin Haney or whatever. That dude gets clipped by that guy at 140, 135, 136, 154. I don't give a shit. That he's going to sleep. He's going to go to sleep. And people need to stop hating on Tank in that way, at least in my eyes. But
yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, man. Oh, wow. That is. Oh, he is. That's a big size difference. Yeah, that's a big size difference. I'll pull it up. That is a significant size difference at that. Wow. That's not maybe a little bit the angle. But that's a big size difference right there. That's a big size difference right there. Between that hit, those guys are not, that's Manny Pacquiao looks significantly bigger. I'm not sure about the angle there, but yeah, dude, Manny Pacquiao's a lot bigger than him. Now he's leaning in a little bit. Gervonta's leaning a little bit to his left in a little bit. But no, Manny Pacquiao looks significantly bigger than Gervonta in that picture. Thank you for the link. King, what you want to tell a story about, man?
Hey, good morning, man. What's up?
Nothing much, man. What do you need?
Hey, the picture that you're showing, Tank Davis does not have his shoes on, and Manny Pacquiao.
Bro, I'm not asking you to talk about that.
But
and under what scenario do you know doesn't have his shoes on?
I promise.
How do you know that? He's got his shirt on.
I promise you. I watched that wherever they're at. I watched that.
And he doesn't have his shoe on. You think he's got 3-inch shoes on? You think he's going to put 3 inches on with his shoes?
Tank only has his socks on.
Shut the fuck up, man. What do you want to talk about, man?
See,
Jesus Christ, man. The man is smaller than him. Jeez, right there, it's obvious, man. You want to put up some fake ass scenario where Gervonta Davis is? You think Manny Pacquiao got? You think he got high heel shoes on or something?
What you're doing is you're defying the statistics.
I'm not defying crap. What I'm telling you is those guys are not the same size. Even if you put Gervonta Davis in shoes, they're not the same size. Gervonta Davis' eyes are at the same level as that man's mouth. So you think Terence? You think Manny Pacquiao got 4-inch shoes on? You think he's wearing Stacks? That doesn't make up that a shoe doesn't have the same. That doesn't make up the difference there. Some shoes.
No problem, man. We can move on from that. I don't want to talk.
I mean, seriously, man. Every single solitary time you talk, you got some contradictory bullshit, bro.
Well, the chat
every single solitary time, man, you got some contradictory bullshit to say.
I was just commenting on the picture.
And man. I know. You're telling me that man doesn't have shoes on. So what?
I just wanted to put that out there. That's all.
You want to always put a bunch of dumb shit out there. What do you want to talk about, man? Do you have anything of value to bring to the conversation?
Something legitimate, yes. You're right about Tank and Crawford being more talented than other fighters. You're absolutely right. Now, who has more talent? I don't know. Bud is a southpaw. They both have the same amount of power. They both sparred.
They do not have the same amount of power.
What's that guy's name? Brian.
They
Nelson?
do not have the same amount of power.
He said they punch like they have the same power. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not
Then
saying
if
factually.
somebody said that Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford hit the same amount, then Gervonta's got more power because Gervonta Davis is smaller.
I mean, yeah, that could be true again.
No, that is true. If you got a guy that's 126 hitting like a guy that is a welterweight, the guy that's at 126 has more power than the guy who's a welterweight because he's fighting smaller guys too. Gervonta Davis, if you got a middleweight punching as hard as a heavyweight, the middleweight punches harder because of who they're fighting.
Yeah, I agree. So basically, I just wanted to give you my hot take and get your thoughts on Monster Inoue saying he can fight at 130 pounds. What do you think about a Tank Davis and Monster Inoue fight?
He said he's never fighting. He said he's never fighting Gervonta Davis because Gervonta Davis is too big for him. That's what he said. At
130, Monster
Inoue. He said he's not going to fight him.
He said he can go up to 130.
He's not going to fight him.
I just want your take on it, man.
I want your take on the fact that he said he's not going to fight him. What's your take on Monster Inoue saying he's not going to fight Gervonta Davis? Gervonta Davis is too big. What is your take on that?
If he's up at 130, you don't think he's going to fight Tank Davis?
Gervonta Davis is no, because Monster Inoue said he is not fighting Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is too big.
Terence Crawford said a lot of shit that he wouldn't do, and he did.
What is your take on Monster Inoue saying Gervonta Davis is too big?
I don't have a take on that.
Oh, amazing, because that means you'd have to say something bad about Monster Inoue, huh?
I just want your thoughts on the fight.
You don't want my thoughts. I already gave my thoughts on that. My thoughts are the following. Monster Inoue wants no parts of Gervonta Davis because he's smart.
I mean, Tank is used to bringing up guys from 130 and 130.
No, what do you mean he's used to bringing up guys from 130?
126.
How many people did he bring up from 130?
He has a habit of
how many people did he bring up from 130?
I have to pull up the resume and go name by name.
The answer is 1. That's a habit because he did it once. And what happened to the other guy moving up? Why do you phrase it that he brought them up and not that they moved up?
He's the A side. Anybody would go.
Did Regis Prograis move Devin Haney up? Did he bring Devin Haney up?
That's Fanon.
No, I'm asking you a question. Did Regis Prograis bring Devin Haney up in weight?
No.
Then why did Gervonta bring up Hector Garcia?
Because Devin Haney is the A side to Regis Prograis.
You have a double standard.
No, this is
You're a hypocrite with a double standard. You're a hypocrite with a double standard. If it is a guy you like, you refer to it as he moved up.
You have a visual distinct.
He moved up. Did Jeff Horn bring Terence Crawford up to fight in 140?
Using all the wrong examples, bro.
Did Jeff Horn bring up Terence Crawford to 140?
Did Canelo bring up Jermell to 168?
No, they haven't even fought yet.
Jermell.
Did he bring him up? No. Jermell moved up. Because Jermell didn't have to do it.
You understand the point, bro.
Jermell didn't have to do it.
Brother, I'm not looking to argue.
No, you are a fucking idiot. If somebody makes the decision to move up in weight, they moved up. You cannot force somebody to move up. It's not possible. You cannot grab somebody by the neck and give them no choice but to come to you.
My point being, if Tank
your point is that you're a fucking moron. Let's look at the terms. In order for me to move you up, that means it has to be my decision that you did it. If I move my child from Kansas to Nebraska, I moved my child. My child had no choice, so I moved him. I moved him, you fucking idiot. I moved him.
Now, can I
If
give a
he decides to move from my house to somewhere else, if my sister decides to move from Illinois to Arkansas, she moved her damn self.
Can I give a counter to that?
No, you can't. You can when you understand that you're a fucking idiot.
I can
and a damn biased. You are so biased.
I can debunk that in 2 seconds.
You cannot debunk anything.
What you just said.
Well, you're going to debunk it? No worries. Debunk this. If it is the person's decision, they made the decision, it was them doing it.
No,
if it is your decision, then, and they had no choice, then it was your decision because they had no choice. Debunk that.
I can't debunk that.
Of course you can't debunk that. So consequently, Hector Garcia moved up in weight.
You understand my point, though.
I understand that you're biased as hell. Gervonta Davis did not move up Hector Garcia because it was Hector Garcia's choice to move up.
Just like it was Ryan's choice to come down from 140.
It was Ryan's choice to fight at 136.
Right. Just like that.
Exactly. Just like that. So Ryan wanted the fight. He had to take a fight at 136 because he asked Gervonta to move up. He asked Gervonta to move up.
No problem, bro. I'm gonna let you have it. You're kind of being belligerent.
What do you mean you're gonna let me have it? You're so biased.
You're belligerent, man.
No, I'm gonna finish this conversation with you.
You're being belligerent.
You are a tremendously biased individual.
You're being hostile.
You push narratives and you're biased.
You're being hostile towards me.
I am being hostile because you are biased and you push narratives. How could you say that a man that is at 135 moved somebody up to him?
And
how is that possible? How is it possible for Gervonta Davis to move somebody up to him? Explain that to me.
Hanan, Hector Garcia's next fight was at 130 pounds, and he lost.
Then he decided he was the champion, and he moved. Actually, he didn't even move back down because he was still the champion. He moved back down.
And he lost the championship to Lamont Roach.
He moved back down to lose that championship.
So you're just gonna put all that
Did Lamont Roach move him down?
No, he was already the champion.
No, did Lamont Roach move him back down?
Hanan, I get that argument, but you're not.
No, it's not an argument, it's a fact. For you to move something, you have to take something under your control and place it somewhere else. That's what it means to move something. Okay? That's what it means to move something. Do you know of anything moving without somebody taking control over it and moving it?
Just hear me out.
That's the definition of the word. That's the definition of the phrase, moving something. Gervonta Davis cannot move Hector Garcia because he does not own Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia had to agree and he had to decide to move up in weight. He could have said no.
Let me just give you an example real quick.
No, yeah, give me an example of somebody moving somebody where it's not the other person. Sure, give me an example.
A real world example.
That's a real world example.
So you said if I got a job offer from Arkansas, and it's $100,000, whereas where I am right now, I make $60,000. If it's a better offer, you know what? I'm gonna go to Arkansas and I'm gonna take that offer. And then if I need to come back or whatever happens after that, I'm gonna come back. That's my choice. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you see my point with that?
No.
You don't see it with that example?
No, I don't, because you moved. You moved.
I
You
moved
moved.
for a better
You
off,
moved.
better
You moved from your job. You got an opportunity for $100,000 more, and you sat and you made your decision. Am I going to move to Arkansas? Hey, what are you doing? I'm moving to Arkansas. Now, that company can move your job to Arkansas. They can move that job there. They can say, I am shutting down that factory and I'm moving all the work to Arkansas. And then it's your choice whether or not you're going to move with your job. You're biased and you push narratives. Because you put all the responsibility on Gervonta for Hector Garcia moving up in weight. You acted like it was his decision that Hector Garcia moved up in weight. And it wasn't Hector Garcia that moved up. You chose to phrase something in a way that would make Gervonta Davis look bad.
Why doesn't he fight real 135-pound fighters?
Sir, once again, he has fought multiple real 135-pounders. Hector Garcia is Isaac Cruz is a real 135-pound fighter. Rolly Romero is a real 135-pound fighter.
From you know what weight Isaac
Now
Cruz?
you want to switch from why doesn't he fight real 140-pound fighters? You are biased. You are biased.
Biased to who?
You're biased against Gervonta Davis.
And
You're biased against him.
What do I get out of that?
I don't care. I don't know what you get out of it. It doesn't make a difference what you get out of it. You are biased against him.
And you're biased against Devin Haney.
Name why, when, and how.
Every day.
Give me an example of me saying something and construing it to make him look bad.
I'm not going there today, man.
Because you don't have an example of that. Because you can't go there. You can't go there. Give me an example. You don't have one. I will keep somebody from being biased against Gervonta Davis, though. When you say that he moves people up in weight as if those people are robots, they don't have any decision themselves, they don't have the ability to say no, and it's only one person. You said he has a habit of it, and it was once that somebody else moved up once. Do you know of another time?
Let me give you an example. Leo Santa Cruz only had one fight at 130 before he fought.
Leo Santa Cruz, actually, Gervonta Davis moved down to fight Leo Santa Cruz. Down.
Yes, sir.
He did not move Leo Santa Cruz up. He moved down. So can I have another example? Because that's not one. You're biased against Gervonta Davis. You're biased against black people. That's what I think.
That was the angle I was waiting for you to take. That
was the angle? No, that's a fact. That's not even an angle.
That's what you always go to,
That's
man.
not an angle. That is a direct accusation.
That's not fair, man.
That is a direct accusation.
That's not fair, man.
It is extremely fair because you're consistent with it.
No, I'm
consistent with it. You only hate on the PBC because the PBC is a black organization.
So
that's it.
Is it the PBC?
You have nothing positive to say about the PBC or PBC fighters. None. Nothing. Ever. You consistently criticize everything about a black-owned organization. The only black major organization owned in boxing, and conveniently, you have something to say bad about them every single solitary time.
You're making it much more than what it needs to be,
It's
man.
Every time. I'm not making more of it. It's every time.
Anan, I like certain fighters, just like you do.
Name them. What PBC fighter do you support? None. Not a single solitary one. Not a single one. And anytime something bad happens to them, you celebrate it.
David Benavidez.
You don't celebrate David Benavidez. What have you ever said good about David Benavidez? Nothing. You've never even talked about David Benavidez. Nothing. You never say anything good about any PBC fighter. It's all negative with the PBC. They're going out of business. Their pay-per-view numbers are bad. You're just, Errol Spence Jr. did this. Gervonta Davis doesn't do that. Every single solitary time. If there was another example of it, then you'd be able to bring it up. But you can't. Because you don't. You're biased against a black-owned organization and every fighter associated with them in any conversation around them. The only time that you support black fighters at all is when they are directly in contrast with a PBC fighter. That's it. That's it. You never support Devin just for the sake of Devin. You support Devin in contrast to Gervonta. You're biased against a black-owned business. Very, very clearly. Just like Rick Glazier. Just like Rick Glazier. Who believes, you believe every bit of, oh, there you go. You don't like that though, do you? See, what I did is I took a page out of your book. You remember when you used to come up here talking about you have a tribal mentality? You are biased against a black organization. You are. A black-owned and predominantly owned and managed organization who just happens to be the most successful organization in boxing right now. And you do not support them ever. Anybody but them. Anybody but them. I knew that was the angle you were going to take. Because it's the truth. There's a link. I'm sorry, the guy that was behind on it. I'm not playing nice. I'm going to call it like it is. I get a little, you know what it is? I'm going to call it what it is. I'm not biased against, you consistently call me biased. But yet, I can point up that phrase. Gervonta Davis moved him up. But Devin moved himself up. Oh, because he's the A side. What the hell does the A side have to do with it? You don't think Hector Garcia had made the decision himself to go challenge Gervonta Davis? He's a champion in the weight division right below him. And Gervonta Davis did it because he's a coward. What do you mean you must bend a knee to a side? Bro, look, man, you guys are biased. You guys are pushing the narratives, not me. You guys are the ones pushing narratives. You are the ones that are biased. I give Devin Haney every bit of credit for things that Devin Haney actually does. And I'm not taking away or faulting people for things that they didn't do. Everything that Gervonta Davis does is bad. AJ 64, I didn't know that you had a wrench. You got to talk to Barbara D. AJ 64. Barbara D gives out wrenches. No, you do not have to bend a knee to an A side, Kyle. That is not true. You do not have to. You cannot take the fight. Tim Bradley didn't bend a knee to Floyd Mayweather. He didn't take the fight. What? No, you do not. Well, then don't. But then it's you that did it. then it's you that did it. You don't have to do anything. If you decide to take a deal, that's on you. If you take a deal, that's on you. You took the deal. Like any other adult, you took the deal. Make your decision. Live with your decision. You decided you wanted the fight. You did what you needed to do. Then you did it. That's on you. Super Bro X, how can I help you?
Good morning. How's it going today?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I want to touch on the topic, man. Tank Davis and Terence Crawford.
Yes.
I feel everybody gonna have their biases. You know what I mean? It's boxing. You know what I mean? Like, so when people come up here and say, you bias for a certain fighter, I think that's bull. Because we all bias. In some type of way for our favorite fighter. And to go back on them two, they both knockout artists. So it's like, choose your poison. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're going to get with both fighters. You got Tank Davis, who's clearly the bigger puncher because he is harder than Deontay Wilder, and that's proven. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand on that, man. And, it's really no comparison, man. Like, like I said, you could choose your poison, pick whoever you think is the better fighter. It really doesn't matter because, like, Tank Davis is proven they in two different type of leagues. You got one who got to fight his mandatories all the time and do that, and then you got the cash cow. So it's like when we get on here and we start arguing for our favorite fighter, we got to really look at what position they in. Like,
look, man, my thing about this bias stuff is that it doesn't matter. You can be as biased as you want to be. Who cares? As long as you are factually correct and logically sound, then it doesn't matter what your preferences are. If you're not telling a lie and what you say is actually true and your conclusion is logically sound, what difference does it make what your preference is? As long as those two things take place. And that's anywhere in life, anything that you do. You can want your son, and I used the example earlier. You could say, you could think your son, you could love your son more than anybody on the planet. And you say, my son is the best basketball player in the world. And then you say you think he's the best basketball player in the world. What's his name? Oh, Steph Curry.
Right.
Oh, why do you say that he's the best player in the world? Because he is the best shooter statistically in NBA history. He's won 4 championships. There's nobody in his position that can guard him. And I think that he is the best player in the world. Okay, it doesn't matter if you are Del Curry. Then you say that because he's got some sound to say. But if you think your son is the best basketball player in the world, who does he play for? Oh, he plays for his junior high school team.
Right.
He sits on the bench for his junior. He's a bench warmer for his junior high school team. Well, I don't think he's bad. I'm sorry, man. It's not logical. Okay, I don't think he can make the Bulls. Okay, so no. Right. So as long as you are factually accurate, right, and you are logically sound, doesn't matter what your preferences are. Calling people biased is a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's called an ad hominem argument. You're attacking the person and not what they're saying. By saying, oh, you're just biased, the only reason you say this is because you like this guy. Well, no, I'm not. Yes, I do love my son, but my son is Steph Curry, and he has won 3 NBA. How many championships has he won? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, he's won 3 NBA championships. He's the all-time leader, blah, 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 all of the different facts. There's no problem with him thinking that because Reasonable, because it's factually true, the things that he's saying, and it's logically sound, which makes it reasonable. When somebody throws bias at somebody, it's a cop-out for, in my personal opinion, always that he says he's 1-4. I think it's a cop-out for your inability to make an argument. Hey, let me move to the next guy, those Super Bros. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Aaron Brooks had been waiting. What's going on? What's going on, Aaron Brooks? How can I help you, sir?
Brother? How you doing, man? I'm in here just doing some morning cooking. I got to work the day off, so.
Good for you, man. I'm chilling. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. So I got to weigh in on the Bud and the Tank, the style, right? So if I got it right, you saying basically whose style is a little bit better than the other one, right? Not head to head, right?
No, yeah, not head to head.
I have to go with Tank because he's not as, like, I would say, offensively aggressive as Terence. Like, Terence has a little more output, but he's more defensively responsible.
I think Gervonta's got more. I think they got about the same, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, what I mean, like, as far as fighting for aggression, like Terence will fight you. He'll stand there and fight you. Gervonta not going to get lured into that crap. He's luring you into a trap the whole time. And that's why I like his style a little bit better. He's setting the trap the whole fight. You can get Terence pissed and Terence will fight with you. Gervonta, as far as I've seen, has not done that. He's sticking to the game plan. He's going to keep moving. It's hard to hit him. When you do hit him, you ain't going to land nothing nice, and he going to hit you with something you ain't see. Whereas, like, I think Terence sometimes get in there and try to throw down with you. So that's why I say the style of Gervonta, I think, is a little bit better. If they both was 5'7" with the same arm reach, I think Gervonta would put Terence out.
It'd be a tough fight. That's for damn sure.
It'd be a tough fight, but I think he could put him out, you know?
Yes, sir. That's reasonable.
Now, I got one more thing for you. It ain't just a future topic later if you think about it. I remember you talked about the 4 kings, right?
Yes, sir.
Today and tomorrow. How about this? And just it's rhetorical today. What do you think about T.O., Ryan, Shakur, and Devin, right? With a later group, Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, and Chavez.
I have to think about that.
I just said just for later on. I want to hear you talk about that.
I'm going to tell you right now, Pernell Whitaker and Chavez.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them. I don't think Ryan should not be in the same breath as Pernell Whitaker and Chavez. Meldrick Taylor, that's a good one. Who was the other one?
It was Pernell Whitaker, Taylor, Chavez, and
Buddy McGirt.
And Camacho. McGirt. I'm sorry, and Camacho.
Oh, you said, but I thought you said Buddy McGirt.
Buddy McGirt and Camacho. Buddy McGirt and Camacho. Yeah. Because they all run at the same time.
Camacho, Meldrick Taylor,
Pernell, and Chavez. They was fighting around the same time, right? They was all in between.
I'd have to look.
Man, right?
That's a little bit of a. I have to look into that.
But them was the guys. Them was the 80s and 90s guys, right?
I think that not Pernell Whitaker was the 88 Olympics, but he was really, really in the 90s. I think he was the 80. Oh, was he 84? No, he was 84.
That's what I said, because he never Pernell was a stablemate with Meldrick Taylor. He never fought Hector Camacho, but he fought Chavez. He fought Buddy McGirt. So they was all around, like they all kind of.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it, man. I'm a little foggy on the 80s.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see how people think that them dudes match up with the guys now.
I don't think any of them touch Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
I don't think any of them touch Pernell Whitaker. Gervonta maybe, but Pernell Whitaker is something. I don't think any of those other 3 that you named are near Pernell Whitaker. Camacho ain't nowhere near Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
Neither is I thought you originally said Buddy McGirt.
I didn't say McGirt because I was thinking about like all the guys who, but I guess we can take McGirt out because he was a bit bigger and older than those guys. But like,
no, but McGirt fought. I know McGirt fought Pernell.
Pernell, yeah, but I don't think he fought any of the other guys though.
And I think Macho Camacho was older than Pernell, but again, or he was in a. He may have been. Maybe I got to look into that, man.
There was a year or two they was in the same weight class.
Yeah, I got to look into that. I got to look into that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm just curious to see how you think about them. That's it, man.
Yeah, I think that's a better question for blood boxing, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, man, I'll get back with you.
All right, man, take it easy, man. Have a good day.
Thank you. Yeah, I really think that's a better question for blood. I think that's a better question for blood boxing. Because I've obviously seen them all fight. I don't remember the dynamics of the organizations and where they sat and all that. And I've never really heard those guys really matched up like that. But the guy that is absolutely positively heads and shoulders above those dudes is Purnell. So it's like I don't really think I think it's Purnell, and because Purnell's a king, them dudes like Macho Camacho, no. And Meldrick Taylor, I know Meldrick Taylor was a good fighter when he ran into Julio Cesar Chavez. So Julio Cesar Chavez and Purnell, I mean, obviously those guys fought and Purnell got robbed. But Julio Cesar Chavez and those two guys, yeah, for sure. Those guys were, I think those guys were king. But I know but comparing them to these guys, I mean, I don't know if any of these guys really match up with either Purnell or I think it's too early. And then again, it's a disadvantage because these guys' career is almost all the way over. I mean, like these guys' careers not all the way over at the time. They're already over now, and these guys' career is not there. So it's just kind of tough on me. I'll think about it, though. Ringside with LCD said, man, King always on some BS. I like how he said to Fanon, but you get the point, though. Yeah, I get the point, all right. Keep that same energy, King, when Fanon destroys your narratives. Yeah, man, he's a walking narrative. And Franklin Henson, much love. Hey, thank you for joining the channel. And I am hands down said everybody is a fan of different boxers. Some fans have certain fighters that live rent-free in their head. Be realistic. Of course, I think that's the biggest. I am hands down. When people say that, I immediately in the back of my head, and I don't. Maybe the difference is somebody really old, somebody older. Like somebody older that is but when fighters like, man, dude, y'all are clearly Devin Haney fans. Clearly Devin Haney fans. I mean, if you're a trainer, if you're literally a trainer, sometimes I believe them when they say, look, I'm really just looking at the sport. I'm not really looking at the fighter. If you're a trainer, I can buy that. If you're not a trainer, I don't believe you when you say that. It may be true, but chances are you're just using that as a cliche to try to give yourself to put yourself on some type of higher moral stand. Like you have a higher moral standard than somebody else does when you claim that I'm not really a fan of fighters. So you're basically saying that you're not biased and they are biased. That's just a passive aggressive way of calling people biased, which is an ad hominem argument. And again, it doesn't matter if I'm a fan of a fighter or not. If what I'm saying is logically sound and factually true. Phoenix the Assassin, how can I help you, sir?
Yo, how's it going?
Man, it's going well, man. I can't complain. I had upper echelon right behind you, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and keep it short. But yeah, this conversation I think is pretty interesting because when it comes to Bud and Tank, like there's a lot of things that they both do very well, and then a lot of things I feel one does maybe better than the other. Personally, I'm gonna have to lean towards Tank as more talented and more skilled, like simply because I don't feel like I've seen Bud in a lot of fights where he's had a physical disadvantage that he had to overcome, whether it's, being the shorter guy, having a shorter reach, or anything like that. And of course, like when it comes to physical attributes, you can't train those. You can't train someone to be taller. You can't train someone to be faster or to hit harder and stuff. But, Bud, he's very technically sound, and, he will adjust based on the task he has in front of him. And one thing, I think it was Sean Porter who said it before he fought Spence, is that while Spence will try to beat you at your own game, Bud will force you to try to beat him at his game. And I think that's pretty much the way it goes. Where with Gervonta, the thing about him is, it like, and I've said it before, a lot of people overlook the fact that he is able to box because he's able to knock people out. He's able to pick people apart. There's a reason he has the highest power punch percentage rate. Like he's able to place his shots with pinpoint accuracy. Like the dude is a sniper. And even then, his distance management, the fact that he's able to establish his jab over guys who shouldn't be able to or he shouldn't be able to get on the inside of, simply because he knows how to position himself. He knows where to stand. He knows how to do that lead hand game that you normally see with people who are both opposite stances, between Southpaw and Orthodox. But even when he has to fight another Southpaw, like we saw with Hector Garcia, he was still able to handle that properly and, get on the inside and eventually start countering him. Even though he's in there almost toe to toe, he doesn't get hit as much as you would expect for somebody that is hailed as a knockout puncher. He's able to slip shots. He's able to always keep his eyes on the opponent. He's able to watch his positioning and watch their positioning, and he cuts the ring off very well. So, I mean, like with all that, I just got to lean towards Tank. Not to say that Terence isn't able to do that, but I think the biggest difference, apart from the punching power, is that Tank has that speed and explosiveness, both with his hands and with his footwork, the way that he moves his feet. He just seems to have this explosiveness where it's instantaneous, and he can be in one spot, then he's in another. Or, you don't see a shot like that right hook he had first dropped Barrios with that just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like it looked like it was going to be a jab, but then he came over the top with it and bam. That was it. So the fact that he got the power, the accuracy, and that explosiveness combined with his skills, it's hard for me to say that Bud is better overall.
Man, excellent breakdown. Excellent breakdown. Thank you, sir. I learned.
No problem.
Always a pleasure learning from you, man. Thank you.
For sure.
All right,
take it easy, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, man, I like that, man. Absolutely excellent, man. Wow, that was great. Yeah, I brought I'm sorry, Upper Echelon, where you go, man? Here's that link for you, Upper Echelon. What's up, So Deep? How you feeling, man? Where you at, man? Hey, let me get these super chats while I wait on Cash App. Thank y'all for the support. Mr. Ramsey said, favoring and bias are completely opposite. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, sir. Mr. Samuel Ramsey, man, thank you for supporting the channel, keeping it shining, man, keeping it going. Mackie, what's up, Mackie? With the $10 holler, brother. Thank you so much. I can't read your last Echo. You got to put it in there again. Otherwise, I got to go looking for it. And it's going to take me a while, man. Oh, I can. All right. You can train fighters to hit harder. Emmanuel Stewart did it with Hearns and the amateurs. Tommy had no power. Stewart taught him the art of leverage with long arms and great body mechanics. Dope. I got it. Thank you, sir. And still waiting on Upper Echelon. Terence unlimited physically. Terence is unlimited physically. Tank is not. Oh, I don't know, man. I think they're both limited physically. That's why you're not going to see Gervonta. That's why you're not going to see Gervonta Davis fighting Tim Tszyu, and you ain't going to see Terence Crawford fighting David Benavidez. That at a certain point in time, man, with those little dudes, the physicality comes into it. Only the heavyweights they got to get in there with everybody. Only Pernell come close to Mayweather's skill set. Thank you, brother. I think Gervonta does, but it's okay. Oh no, I don't know. Floyd is so nasty though, man. Floyd is nasty, bro. No joke. Kyle, can you not do that? Tank is not beating Errol, let alone knocking him out. Tank is not going to beat Errol, let alone knocking him out. Unless Errol Spence is absolutely positively washed. No, he cannot. You are tripping. Hardcore tripping with that. Hardcore tripping with that. No. No, he's not going to do that. No. Come on, man. No. Gervonta's not fighting Keith Thurman, man. Mertz is dumb as out here tripping. Everybody has the ability to switch. Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Have the ability to switch. Yes, he does. Tank said he put it in a sparring match. In a sparring match. Come on, man. That man can fight, though. Kid Austin versus Shakur. What's my thoughts? Shakur beating up Kid Austin. I shouldn't say it because I'm close in proximity to him, but this is. Where'd you go, Rollo? Where'd you go, Rollo? Man, Rollo, you are funny to me. Yeah, Rollo just clicked the link and got in and got out real fast. Man, that's hilarious, man. Rollo. Rollo, when he ain't talking about Devin, actually got some sense to himself. Shushu been talking crazy about Shakur. Good for them, man. Let's make it hot. Get up to 135, Shushu. Well, I thought Shushu was at 126. And they can all switch southpaw if they want to switch. Man, those guys can do that. What the deal is he's switching orthodox. He's not switching southpaw. He's switching orthodox. That's what it looks like to me anyway, that he's switching orthodox. Because most of his fight is southpaw. Phoenix Assassin out here clowning, man. He out here clowning. Man, Shakur Stevenson should do what Shakur Stevenson is doing. Man, Kid Austin don't want those. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. I've only seen Kid Austin fight twice. So I really can't speak on it because I've only seen him fight twice. But, you know. Man, Shakur Stevenson actually gets a fair amount of stoppages. He actually gets a fair amount of stoppages. He's had a couple he's had stoppages in championship fights. He's had championships. He has a knockout at 135. I don't get this. Shakur will beat you up, man. Shakur will beat you up. What you need, Rollo?
Let me just get who you saying. You saying Tank is better than Bud?
I didn't say anything. I asked what people thought.
I'm asking you what you think.
No, I didn't give an answer.
So that's why I'm asking. You ain't answering.
Why are you asking me? What do you think?
Of course, Bud is better. Not to discredit Tank. He's a hell of a fighter, but he's no Bud. You'll throw 3 punches in a round, but he ain't no Bud. His style is not like Bud's. Takes a whole style.
Of course, his style's not like Bud's. He's not Bud. I didn't ask about I didn't ask about the style.
Right, so which makes Bud better because of the style.
Because he has so is Bud better? Does Bud have the same style as Floyd Mayweather?
Nobody got a style like Floyd.
So therefore, but Floyd is not as good as Terence Crawford then.
No, Floyd is better than.
No, you said his style is not like. You said Gervonta Davis's style is not like Terence. That means Terence better. So Floyd's style is not like Terence's either. So consequently, Terence should be better than Floyd.
How? I don't.
Because the styles are not the same. That's what you said. You said the styles are different. That since his style is not like Gervonta's style is not like
Gervonta's style ain't like. Does that make him better? I mean,
that's my point. So can you give me something better than his style? Because it's not the fact that their style is not alike that makes him better.
Oh, so what makes him better then?
You tell me. You're the one saying it.
It's styles.
Then if his style is better, then if his style is different, then his style is different than Floyd's.
Okay, but Floyd is better.
Isn't
Not too much better than Bud, but
isn't everybody's style different?
Right, yeah, it is.
So what? So can you give me something more than the style? You know, Bob, I thought you said you were a trainer.
A what?
I thought you said you were a
I do
trainer.
train my son, but Tank
If
Davis
you're a
is style.
trainer, you should be able to give me something a little bit better than just style. What does that mean?
I mean, Bud is just a better boxer. For his size, his reach is kind of, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. I'm asking you to
Bud's
explain.
reach is more than the average 5'8" person. You
Okay.
know that, right?
Yeah.
Which is an advantage in boxing.
Okay, that's
Kinda
not
short.
style. That's length.
But, well, you asked me to give you something else. Now, when I give you something else, you
No,
tell
I
me
need a
that that's not
definition
what
for style. Okay, so he's got long arms. Okay.
you asked me to give you something else that pertaining to boxing. Then when I do, you can't argue to be right all the time. You gotta listen, homie. I know you want to beat old Rallo now. You don't know more than boxing than me. I done told you that. You know that. You know that. You more of a gimmicky kind of discussion. You like to keep an argument going, but you don't never like to stick to
Hey,
boxing.
man, can you get back to the point? Like,
Well,
I don't think everybody wants to hear your opinion of me for like 15 minutes.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, when you tell me to give you something else other than style.
Okay,
then
you
I
gave
speak
me
on the
something
reach.
else. You said he's got long reach. So
Right.
that's why he's better than Gervonta, because he has longer reach.
Yes, that's why Devin is better than Gervonta because of his attributes, physical attributes.
We're not talking about Devin today.
That's why
I didn't ask what you thought about Devin.
That's why I pick him over.
I didn't ask what you thought about Devin. See, I knew that the Devin snob slobbery was going to start soon.
Well,
Devin is not in the title. Devin is, dude, the conversation is Gervonta and the conversation is Gervonta and Terence Crawford.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Anybody picking Tank don't know boxing.
Why? Canelo Alvarez said it. Canelo Alvarez said it was Gervonta.
I didn't see. I got to see that because you know how
He
you.
did. He said, "Who do you think is the best fighter? Who's your Gervonta?" Gervonta.
Did they ask him who the best fighter or who did he like? Because we all.
He said, "Who do you watch? Who do you think the best fighter is?" He said Gervonta.
Well, who's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world?
Depends on who you ask.
So we know who's picking. What does the list say?
Which
what
list?
Does the list say?
What list?
You want to go by?
What list? I do believe that ESPN. One of them has Monster Inoue.
I haven't seen that. I seen Bud on all of them. You got to show me that.
On all of them is number one.
Yeah, I seen Bud on all of them. Number one, Bud. I seen Bud on all of them. But I tell you who I've never seen on there is Tank. Why? Because you just look at his style, his level of opponent.
You keep going back to this style thing.
Well, how do you judge a fighter?
I'm sorry. Here, let me help you right here.
How do you judge a fighter, Fernand? How do you judge a fighter?
Dude, I'm not doing an interview with you today. The question is for you, not me. I'm the host.
Well, if I give you the answer to the question, you say, well, you got to do more. How do you judge a fighter? You don't even. When the last time you've been in the boxing gym?
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm not giving you an interview. You got to go get yourself a YouTube channel if you want to interview me.
When the last time you even been in the boxing gym?
I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Hell.
You don't like that answer? A couple weeks ago.
You talking about styles, though? What do you mean? Styles make the fighter.
You're not explaining what a style is.
Styles make the fighter.
You're not what style?
Devontae's whole style consists of it's really due to his opponent. So I can't really, you got to get in there with some competition for a motherfucker to really judge your style. Because if you fight,
so you don't know what his style is.
I'm just explaining it to you. I'm explaining.
You just said you say you can't really explain his style. So how do you know what? How are you going to judge his style when you can't? You've never seen his style.
It to you. I said you can't really judge his style. I just said I didn't know.
Then why are you judging his style then? So you
Well,
don't know if he's better than
well,
Terence
if
Crawford
you
or not.
quit
'Cause
interrupting,
you can't judge his
if
style.
you quit interrupting, then I was getting into the detail, the exact
Oh,
detail
okay.
of why it's hard to
Hurry it
judge
up.
his style, right?
Tank does
And
not
really,
take a lot of punches, by the way, Doghouse.
he does take a lot of punches. He takes a lot
Really?
of clean shots. Hell yeah, you didn't see Gamboa rocking his shit. You didn't see
No,
Ryan
I didn't.
Garcia
I
rocking
didn't
his
see that.
shit. You
I
didn't
must
see
admit, I must admit, no, I did not see Gamboa rock his shit. No.
you didn't see Gamboa hit him with a clean 3-piece.
I've seen him get hit with punches. Yes, I've seen Devin get hit with punches. I've seen Terence get hit with punches. I've seen Terence Crawford. I saw Terence get dropped.
Okay, well
Matter of fact, I saw Gamboa rock Terence Crawford. Literally rock him.
he did. He did. He hit him with a
So
clean shot.
therefore,
But
so didn't you see Terence Crawford get rocked?
yeah, but that ain't what we was talking about though.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about Tank and
I
Crawford.
guess you was responding to somebody in the chat saying that
We're
Tank gets hit a
talking
lot.
about Tank. We're talking about
And then
Tank.
you said no, he didn't. So I said, yeah, he do. Didn't you see
Dude, we're
Gamboa
talking
hit him?
about Tank
Listen,
and
I tell
Terence.
you what, Gamboa hit Tank with more clean shots than he hit Bud with. And the Gamboa was an old man with a torn ACL in that fight. Look at the every fight Tank gets.
Gervonta Davis tore his ACL.
Who? Right.
Gervonta Davis is the one, not his ACL, it was his Achilles.
Okay.
Gervonta Davis is the person that tore that Achilles.
Okay, he tore it during the fight. Okay.
Yeah, he hit him, and he's the one that tore it.
Okay.
You can't say the reason it was torn was because of Gervonta.
I didn't deny
You
that.
can't say that Gervonta Davis fought a guy with a torn Achilles because he's the one that tore the Achilles.
His Achilles was torn, and he still
because Gervonta Davis tore it.
What does that got to do
Davis
with
hit him, knocked him down, and when he as he went down, he tore his Achilles.
Okay, so what are you saying? What's your argument?
So I'm saying that you got to give Gervonta Davis credit.
I didn't take it away from him. What's the argument?
Don't you think Gervonta Davis deserves credit for tearing the Achilles? He's the one that hit him, and his Achilles got torn.
I don't know. I didn't give Danny Williams credit for messing Tyson Williams' knee up. Mike Tyson's knee up.
Did he knock him down when he did it?
It's just something that happens in
Did
the
he
fight.
knock him down and he tore his knee when he got knocked down?
That happens in the fight. But what point are you
did he hit him with a punch?
What does that got to do with him getting
hit?
It has
because if you punch somebody,
okay, he tore his Achilles. Who cares about that? What does that got to do?
If Mike Tyson
you got that point.
got punched, if Mike Tyson got punched,
you like to argue over petty shit.
It's not petty. I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying, Rollo.
That piece that he got hit with by Gamboa though.
What about
I'm
it?
not arguing there. How can you talking about?
Gamboa hit Terence Crawford with a 3-piece.
So what don't make sense that I'm saying?
Terence Crawford got hit with a 3-punch combination by Gamboa.
No, he didn't. He got clipped.
Yes, he did. And he got wobbled. And he got wobbled by him.
No, he didn't. He got clipped.
He got wobbled by him. Terence Crawford himself said he got wobbled by him.
When we say you get clipped in the gym, that means motherfucker hit you with a good shot.
Terence Crawford got. Come on, man. Terence Crawford got wobbled by him.
I didn't say he didn't.
You just did say he didn't get wobbled. You said he got clipped. You said he didn't get wobbled. He got clipped.
Right. So when we say a motherfucker got clipped, that's what we mean. He got hit with a good shot. He got hurt.
And he got wobbled.
Yeah, he got wobbled. I didn't.
So then what are you telling me he didn't get wobbled for?
I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
You said he didn't get wobbled. He got clipped.
It's not there. He did. You're trying to make arguments that's not there. You're like a fucking dweeb.
Did Terence Crawford get wobbled by George? Did
Terence
Crawford get wobbled by Yuriokas Gamboa?
Yes. Why are you arguing about?
Did you see Gervonta Davis get wobbled by Yuriokas Gamboa?
Listen, this is the difference.
Yes, I'm going to tell you the difference. One got wobbled, the other one didn't. By the same guy.
Terence got clipped, right?
He got wobbled.
Listen, can you listen and stop screaming like a girl? Terence got clipped with a good shot.
You make dog. Go ahead, man. What?
Terence got clipped with a good shot that wobbled.
Yes, he got wobbled.
If you let one motherfucker finish, once again, Terence got clipped with a good shot and got wobbled. Tank Davis took 3 clean flush shots by Gamboa. that was really like, damn, you let him hit you with all that, even the kitchen sink. Now, did he? And to me, that was a testament to Tank's chin. Defense ain't all that, but his chin's pretty good. But his style is more of a downloading program. That's why he only threw 2 punches in fights and shit, 7 punches in a round and shit, because he's fighting slow, flat foot Mexican. He's waiting till they get late, like Mario Barrios, who he drained. And then he just wait until it get late and they tired and they can't run no more. Then he starts to stalk him. You said he was stalking Barrios. Barrios was turning his ass up in first 6 or 7 rounds. He didn't start stalking him until Barrios got tired.
Can I got to ask you a question, man. If Terence Crawford was hitting Gervonta Davis so much, I mean, if Gervonta, I just looked up the stats for the fights.
Mario Barrios.
No, I'm going back to Yuriokas Gamboa. Yuriokas Gamboa landed 82 punches at 24% on Terence Crawford. And when he fought Gervonta, he only landed 78 punches and landed 13%.
Hold on.
Gervonta Davis landed 37% of his punches, 120 against him. So Gervonta, like Crawford hit because he threw more punches than Gervonta.
Right, he always throws more punches.
He threw, but not a lot more. He threw 30 more punches, and he landed more punches, but he got hit more by Gamboa than Gervonta.
How long did the fight last?
I'm talking about the lowest percentage. One went 12, and I think the other one went 11.
Okay, and then you got to pay attention to this too.
Gamboa, dude, no, Gervonta Davis got hit less in more rounds.
Okay,
Gervonta didn't knock that man out until the 11th.
You got to understand this too.
He didn't knock him out till the 12th.
Okay, you got to understand this too, though.
Listen to how stats work. He got hit fewer times in more rounds. So it was actually.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. But
Terence Crawford got hit more by Gamboa.
By a prime undefeated Gamboa.
He got hit more.
By a prime undefeated Gamboa.
So he still got hit more.
By a prime undefeated Gamboa.
And so what? He still got
versus
hit
an
more.
Old man that was washed Gamboa.
He got hit more. You said that Gervonta, you said that Gervonta got, sir, you made the comparison, not me.
I said he got hit cleaner.
You said that Terence Crawford did not get, dog, you said it.
No, I did. No, I did not. No, I did not. You're making shit up.
Rollo,
I've never said that.
No, you brought it up. And you said Yuriokas Gamboa.
I said Tank got hit cleaner.
Dog.
Not more. I said
you
cleaner.
I
said cleaner. I'm saying it now. Don't put words in my mouth.
He got hit cleaner?
Go look at the fight.
I know. And I saw Terence Crawford get wobbled. That looked mighty clean.
Listen, you can
get clipped. Terence Crawford got hit more often and got clipped and got hurt. Clearly. Terence Yuriokas Gamboa hit him more cleanly.
Right? You can get clipped in the fight, right? Like Devin got clipped by Linares.
What?
Like Devin got clipped by Linares.
Man, we're not allowed. We're not talking about Devin, bro.
Well, I know that
you got to remove
knows
Devin. You got to remove Devin from this because I don't want to talk about Devin today.
I know that everybody remembers that clip because that's all they talk about. That's
Rollo. I saw the fight. I saw the fight.
Right.
I saw the fight. Okay.
So who had cleaner punches in that fight? Devin or Linares?
I'm not talking about Devin Haney, man.
I'm using that as an example.
I'm not using it. I'm not talking about him. Okay, I'm not
doing it. This is what I said.
I know you love Devin.
Gamboa
all things Devin with you, but we're not talking about Devin today.
Bud with a clean shot, but Tank was taking more cleaner, flusher shots.
No, he wasn't. He got hit less.
That don't mean shit.
It does. And to get hit less means you got hit less.
So let me ask you this then. In the when you see the Loma and Haney fight,
I'm not
talking
about Devin Haney, man.
Loma hit Haney more, right?
I am not talking about Devin Haney.
Did Loma land more punches?
No Devin Haney conversation.
Who was getting hit with a cleaner shot?
No conversation about Devin Haney. None.
I'm just using
when I
them
say
as
none,
examples.
I mean none.
I'm using the fight as an example.
Use another example then.
I can't really think of a fight right now.
Because you're right. That's all you think about is Devin. Can you go to another fighter and not Devin? I'm sure there's another fight you've watched.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Devin.
Can you go to a fight right now that the person hit the other person more but still lost?
Yes.
Who?
Let's see. Who landed more punches? Threw more? You mean landed more punches?
That's what I just said.
I think it literally just happened.
T.O. made
it happened. Hold on, man. It just happened.
So that's why I just came.
Oh, Lomachenko, no worries. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez.
Loma hit T.O. more?
Yes.
I had to go look at that. I don't know. I can't speak on that because I don't know. I don't know.
I just gave you one.
Okay. It took you a minute, but in the heat of the conversation.
Yes, it took a minute, literally a minute.
Right, so I didn't want to sit there and say, let me think. Well, I just went to one that I knew was fresh.
Dude, you couldn't even name one.
That's all. I just named the one. You stopped me talking about. I don't want to talk about him.
No, the argument is not whether or not Terence Crawford, sir. Terence Crawford and Yuriorkis Gamboa both. I mean, Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis both beat Yuriorkis Gamboa. The question is not whether or not they won the fight.
Crawford
we know they won the fight.
Crawford beat
there's no need. Hold on
Crawford
a second, Rollo.
Tank beat an old man.
Old man Rollo.
Tank gets
old man Rollo.
Today's my birthday.
Old man Rollo. We're not talking about whether or not Terence Crawford beat Yuriorkis Gamboa. We know
I never said that. You keep bringing up
there's no need to start looking for fights where a guy landed fewer punches but still won. So there's no need to even bring up the example.
Well, the example was
a very logical guy.
It was about getting hit cleaner.
Rollo.
Right? It was about getting hit cleaner. So what I'm telling you is Gamboa hit Tank cleaner than he was hitting Bud. That was my argument.
Even though one got rocked, and the other one got rocked.
That's boxing. Yeah.
So you think Gervonta Davis? You say Gervonta Davis got hit cleaner,
right? He was
by Yuriorkis Gamboa.
By everybody he fights.
You're telling that there was a punch that Gervonta Davis that Yuriorkis Gamboa landed on Gervonta Davis that was cleaner than the punch Terence Crawford maybe landed on Terence Crawford?
No, listen.
Dog, will you stop it, man? This shit is stupid.
Are you gonna let him motherfucker say right? Tank got hit by a combo. All of them landed clean flush. Bud got clipped.
And the same thing happened to Bud.
No,
Yes, it did.
No, Bud
same thing happened to Bud, dude. Yuriorkis Gamboa landed combinations on Terence Crawford, man.
Nah.
Yeah, he did.
So this is a difference.
I saw the fight, man. I saw the fight.
So let me explain the difference of what I'm saying. When he was throwing combos with Bud might slip one, barely get nipped back. He might roll one and then got clipped with one. Tank took them all flush to the motherfucking face. Wham, 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 wham. 3 in a row. When Bud rolled one, flipped one barely, and got clipped with one. You see what I'm saying? The difference.
One. Let me see how many rounds Bud lost.
You see Bud what I'm saying? Now you taking it somewhere else because you know.
1, 2, 3.
And don't forget that Gamboa was a prime.
Can you stop, bro? The fight was dog. Stop it. Terence Crawford got hit more in 9 rounds than Gervonta got hit in 12. There goes your argument. Gervonta Davis, Terence Crawford knocked out Yuriorkis Gamboa in 9 rounds. He got hit more times, sir. He got hit more times.
How old was Gamboa when Tank fought?
It doesn't matter. We're talking about how many times the guy got hit.
It matter where you at in your career.
Dude, look, man, stop this stupid shit, okay? Now you're switching between how old he was and how young he was. You're saying that that Gervonta Davis got hit more cleanly than Terence Crawford did. Okay?
Yeah, he did.
So Gervonta Davis got hit fewer times in 3 more rounds than Terence Crawford got hit in 9. Terence Crawford got hit more times in 9 rounds against Yuriorkis Gamboa than Gervonta Davis got hit in 12.
Did that mean he got hit with cleaner shots?
It means he got hit more often.
Did that mean he got hit with cleaner shots?
Yes, because he got hit. Yes, he got hit more times in 9 rounds than Gervonta got hit in 12.
So you said that means he got hit with cleaner shots?
Dude, he got wobbled in the one. That's a cleaner shot.
You, does that because you get hit
Rollo,
with more shots?
Can you stop, man? Because now we know that you'll do this for anybody.
What do you mean?
Terence Crawford.
I'm picking Bud.
I'm picking Bud. Terence Crawford got hit by Yuriorkis Gamboa.
I'm picking Bud due to his
more times.
Fight.
Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Those more punches than Tank.
Yuriorkis Gamboa hit Terence Crawford more times and fewer rounds than he hit Gervonta Davis. If I go to, and I'm going to look at this, how many rounds did he win? 1, 2. Oh my goodness gracious. 1. Gervonta Davis, do you realize that Terence Crawford was down in the fight after 4 rounds? Rollo, do you realize that Terence Crawford was down on the cards after 4 rounds to Yuriorkis Gamboa? Rollo?
Do you believe that?
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Okay.
It's a fact.
What's the argument about here?
It's a fact. He was down on the scorecards after 4 rounds. So how are you down on the scorecards after 4 rounds if you're not getting hit?
Huh?
How are you down on the scorecard?
I'm not arguing if somebody won or lost. I'm arguing who got hit with cleaner shots.
Obviously, Terence Crawford, because he was down on the scorecards after 4 rounds.
Now listen, you can be down on the. I'm talking about.
You can be down on the scorecards, but be up on the scorecards.
So listen, you tell me when the last time you seen Bud take the punishment that Tank was taking in the Barrios fight. Sean Porter was a good fight, but I still would say Barrios was landing cleaner.
We're talking about Yuriorkis Gamboa.
We're talking about Tank and Bud.
You are changing the topic.
Who takes more?
Can we go over to that later when we get done with what you said about Yuriorkis Gamboa? Rollo.
Are we not talking about taking Bud?
The man got hit. Gervonta, you brought up Yuriorkis Gamboa.
I'm restless in the
You brought up Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yuriorkis Gamboa, and let me make sure this before I say
your argument is bullshit.
Before
so
I say this,
you
you got to put you on mute,
bullshit,
Rollo, because you're acting child, Rollo. So shush, Rollo. Shush, Rollo.
That's the problem. You stand on bullshit.
I got you. I stand on bullshit.
That's why you got to keep muting and keep switching the thing.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
And the argument is who can hit with cleaner shots.
Let's go with the scorecards.
Who do you think?
The scorecards is that Gervonta Davis did not lose. He lost.
Neither one of them lost.
Excuse me, sir.
We ain't got to discuss that.
I'm sorry. And not only.
Neither one of them lost.
Excuse me. Not only, dude, Terence Crawford lost more rounds against Yuriokis Gamboa in only 9 rounds, then Gervonta Davis lost on the scorecards in 12.
But you cannot leave out the fact that Gamboa was 36 years old.
Then
And
don't, dude,
Crawford fought
you're
in
the
his
one
prime.
that brought up that Terence Crawford, that Terence Crawford did not get hit as much as Gervonta Davis did.
Say that.
But when I look at the
There
fight, Rollo, when I look at the fight, Rollo,
there you go, mute me.
not only did,
There you
because
go,
you're
mute
talking
me like
over
a
me,
sucker.
Rollo, because you're talking over me. Here I go with the mute button because you keep talking.
Because you lying.
I'm
you a
lying?
piece of shit. Yeah,
What am I
you have
lying
no
about,
integrity.
Rollo? What am I lying about, Rollo?
Because you keep saying I said he got hit more when that's not what I said. I said he got hit with cleaner shots. Do you not understand that? Do you not understand that?
He got hit with cleaner shots.
Right.
Even though Terence Crawford lost multiple rounds to Yuriokis Gamboa and Gervonta only lost 1. Even though Gervonta Davis got hit less over 12 rounds than Terence Crawford got hit in 9. He got hit more cleanly. Even though Terence Crawford got visibly wobbled, and Gervonta Davis didn't.
But he didn't though. I mean, you can watch the fight. You can see where
I saw
Gamboa
it, man.
was landing.
Dude, Rollo,
Combinations.
Rollo. Now I'm gonna put you on mute ahead of time. Rollo, you used a bad example.
No, I didn't. I absolutely did not. You can go and watch the clip. It's a whole clip of Gamboa landing a 3-punch combination.
I saw a 3-punch combination land. I saw that.
Right. Now show me one on Bud.
I saw when he got wobbled.
That wasn't a 3-punch combination for none. Well, you acting slow
man was after 4 rounds. Terence Crawford
what does that got to do with
down.
What I'm saying?
Terence Crawford.
Who took the cleaner shot?
Terence did.
No, Bud. No, Tank did. So we can agree to disagree on that.
Show my sources. I will show my sources. No worries.
We can agree to disagree on that.
No, somebody asked me to show my sources.
I know.
I'm going to show my sources. No, I need to show my source. I like when people ask me to show my sources.
You disregard your integrity.
Hey, man, stop talking, Rollo, before I kick you off. Rollo, I'm going to kick you off, okay?
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give
a fuck, nigga.
I don't give a fuck. You put some bass in your voice when you say something.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. This is a birthday ass whooping. You taking?
You think I give a fuck if you kick me
off? Nigga, come on, man.
I got a pair of
obviously you don't care. Obviously you don't care.
Rub your titties, man. You talking about kicking me out?
Go rub my what? Go rub my what?
I'm telling to Shorty. Told me let me rub him titties. You talking about kicking me off like?
Man, be quiet, man. Okay, here's my proof. Rollo, please try to be quiet for a second. Please. Here is the scorecards. These are the scores for Gervonta Davis versus Yuriokis Gamboa. The scores were 9, as we see. Round 1, Gervonta. Round 2, Gervonta. Round 3, Gervonta. Round 4, Gervonta. Round 5, Gervonta with a 10-8 round. Round 6, Gervonta. Round 7 was Yuriokis Gamboa. Round 8 was a knockdown, Gervonta Davis. Round 9, Gervonta Davis. Round 10, Gervonta Davis. Round 11, Gervonta Davis. And then he knocked him out. So as you see, these are the 3 official scorecards. David Moretti, Steve Weisfeld, and Edward Canner. This is Gervonta Davis winning every round on every scorecard except the 7th. When I go to Terence Crawford, on the other hand, make sure we're on the same. Yeah, when they go to Terence Crawford, though, and I look at the score for Terence Crawford, Yuriorkis Gamboa is in blue, Terence Crawford is in red. First round on 2 of the 3 scorecards, it went to Yuriorkis Gamboa. The second round, all 3 went to Terence Crawford. The third round, all 3 go to Yuriorkis Gamboa. That means he's up on the cards. In the fourth round, Yuriorkis Gamboa got 2 of the 3 scorecards. That means Yuriorkis Gamboa is up on the cards. Then, so after these 3 rounds, after 4 rounds, like I said, he was behind on the.
That's not even the argument though for now.
Sir,
like, why are we going? This is not even the argument.
Show my sources.
I didn't say that he won more.
I didn't say more. Be quiet. He lost more rounds against Gervonta Davis. He lost more. Terence Crawford lost more rounds to Yuriorkis Gamboa than he lost to Gervonta Davis. How in the world did he hit more cleanly? How was he getting hit more cleanly when the man lost 4 times as many rounds?
First of all, that wasn't the argument, and that's not impossible to do.
Clean and effective scoring is a scoring criteria.
It's not impossible to
clean and win. Effective punching is a scoring criteria. How did Terence Crawford lose that many rounds if he wasn't getting hit cleanly?
Okay, so let me explain this to you, right?
Shut up and go away. Rollo, you're not an honest camper. You're just not honest, okay? You're just not honest. You're a Tank hater. Tank dominated that fight with Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yuriorkis Gamboa landed a combination, and he won a round. He won 1 round. He was up on the scorecards against Terence Crawford after 4. Obviously, Terence Crawford was getting hit by Yuriorkis Gamboa to lose the rounds. Bud got wobbled by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Gervonta did not. But happy birthday, Rollo. Happy birthday. Here's the link. Yuriorkis Gamboa hasn't been talked about this much since he signed with 50 Cent. No, he hasn't. But I like Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yuriorkis Gamboa is a good fighter. And Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But my answer to the question, Rollo, was that I had Terence Crawford as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Don't I? I have Gervonta Davis as the number. I have Terence Crawford as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter. Me, I do. Oh, thank you, Jim. Hey, Phoenix the Assassin said, remind me when we boxing styles. Remind him when we mean boxing styles, not slap boxing. Phoenix the Assassin said in 9 rounds, Gamboa landed 82 of 345. And in 11, he landed 78 of 619. And Rollo said Gamboa hit Tank more. I know what he said. I know he said that. Just making the shit up because he just made the shit up as he went along. Hey, those were cheap shots by Gamboa against Tank. What do you mean those were cheap shots? Huh? What do you mean they were cheap shots? Help me out with that one. I don't know what you mean. Pull up Devin Gamboa. Oh, my God. Now Rollo dug himself into a hole. I don't want to do that, man. But let's do it since he's off the page. Hold on. What is this? Rollo probably can't resist. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me look. 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 Hold on. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. I'll look. Guilty pleasure. I'll look. I don't want to talk about Devin. Devin just kills my chat, bro. Oh, it was a complete shutout. Gamboa didn't win a single solitary round. Not a single solitary round. It was a shutout. He actually got a 10-8 round without knocking him down. So that was a complete shutout. Oh, I take that wrong. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. It wasn't a complete shutout. Actually, it was not a complete shutout. Gamboa won 2 rounds on 2 scorecards. So it wasn't a complete shutout. Fernando Barbosa. And the punch stats, I'll do the punch stats. Why not? Gamboa hit Haney more times as well. Gamboa, what was it? Let me see what you put the stats up, so I don't got to look for it. Yeah, Gamboa over 12 rounds. Gamboa hit Tank more times. I mean, Gamboa hit Devin Haney more times than he hit Tank. Wow, Tank really has good defense. Oh, I missed you guys. You guys left. I was going to get the next caller. Here's the link again, man. My bad for not letting y'all on quicker. Did Rollo take that combo from slap boxing Ali? Nah, Ali didn't slap. Ali couldn't touch him. Yeah, so honestly, Gervonta Davis got hit less than both by Yuriokas Gamboa. He got hit less by Yuriokas Gamboa than Devin and Terence Crawford. Not that I think it makes a difference, really, because I mean he was older, for sure. What's going on, pound for pound boxing?
Hey, good morning, Fana. How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain, sir.
Great show. Salute to the chat. Yeah, I just wanted to weigh in on this because I think about this too sometimes when we get into the pound for pound thing. I don't know if you remember, but Muhammad Ali said back in the day when they was asking him, do he think he's the greatest? And he was giving big ups to Sugar Ray Robinson. And he was saying that the reason is if he thought Sugar Ray Robinson fought at heavyweight with his style and how explosive he was, that he would classify him as the best fighter in the world. So that's how I look at it with certain fighters. And I think this is a great discussion about the defense because I think people really sleep on Tank's defense just because, you know, you might see him get hit once with a combo where he's clearly not like even responsive. But I think he's, as far as comparing him to Terence, I think his defense is better than Terence Crawford's. From what I've seen him fight on the back foot very good against heavy power punchers in his division. I think Terence Crawford defense is good when he wants it to be, you know, like we've seen in the Spence fight. But I think he gets hit cleaner. And it's just no shot to him. I just think that's just his style. He just likes to go in there and fight, you know. So I think that that wise, you know, Tank's defense is better. As far as his offense, too, I feel like he sets a lot of stuff up, Tank. He doesn't just throw his power around where Crawford, like when he's throwing his power around. That's why a lot of his stoppages are like from accumulation of punches. You know, Tank is more, I'm going to set you up with this and fake you and get you out of there. So even just IQ-wise, I kind of think that too. But how much weight do you give the orthodox and southpaw stance when you put that in discussion about like who's better skill-wise? Do you think because he can switch that does?
I don't put it in there at all. Like, I don't put it in there. I don't put it in there at all, especially because I don't really think Terence Crawford switches much. I think he's a southpaw. He's a southpaw that'll go into orthodox every now and then, but I don't really take that into consideration. I look at the scoring criteria: clean, effective punching, effective aggression, defense, and ring generalship. Any particular tactic, I'm switching stance. I'm not going to take that into consideration any more than parrying punches. Like Terence Crawford does a really good job of parrying punches and blocking with his elbows.
Right.
That's
Right.
the changing that you're just switching stance means you're changing the angle. You're changing angles. So I mean, but that is to me that falls within ring generalship because you change all of the angles in the ring as soon as you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to me that falls under ring generalship. But somebody else can have great ring generalship, but do it in a different way. Like I think Gervonta, his ability to take a very quick steps forward and get onto the get into the inside and get into range on a taller fighter. I mean, that's not anything that I've seen Terence do, right? Just like I may not see Errol switching stances. I don't see Terence do. The question is, are you going to be able to get where you want to get? And I think both of them get where they want to get the way that they want to get there. So for me, I've got Terence Crawford as the number 1 pound for pound fighter. I do.
Me too.
Right.
Yep,
so but I think that when we talk about it, though, that it is a very real conversation about whether or not Gervonta should be there, because people are talking about Monster Inoue being there. And to me, Gervonta Davis is better all around than Monster Inoue is because he's got better defense. He's got just as good a clean, effective punching. He's got just as good effective aggression. He's got better defense.
Power.
And I think he's got better ring generalship. So if there's an argument about whether or not Monster Inoue is the number 1 pound for pound or whether it's Gervonta or whether it's Terence, I think the better argument is whether it's Gervonta and also number of weight classes. Is Gervonta Davis has fought in 4 weight classes. He's shown that he can compete with top level fighters from 126 to 140. But I think that the undisputed thing is more political than anything. And nowhere is it more clearly demonstrated that it's political than with Devin Haney. Because Devin Haney was undisputed, but he never fought. He didn't fight Gervonta. He didn't fight Shakur. He didn't fight Nakathila or Edwin De Los Santos or Raymond Moratala or several of the top guys there, right?
So it sounds like you're saying just because you're undisputed don't mean you're the best in the division. And a lot of people disagree with that.
Well, I don't think anybody would disagree that George Kambosos wasn't.
Yeah. No, I'm
because yes, it was proved that George Kambosos wasn't. It's proven. Josh Taylor wasn't the best at 140. That was proven. That was proven. Some people say it was proven by Jack Cottrell. And then when Jack Cottrell didn't pull it off, it was definitely proven by Teofimo Lopez. So there you go. That was an undisputed guy that wasn't.
Right. That's the thing with boxing. It's always an asterisk.
Undisputed has a lot to do with who you're fighting for. Devin Haney would have never been undisputed if he had not signed with Top Rank. That doesn't mean that he wasn't the best. It just means that he wasn't with Top Rank. If if Lomachenko had fought George Kambosos, then if Lomachenko would have beat George Kambosos, he would have been undisputed. And it wouldn't have mattered. Or if Teofimo, it wouldn't have made a difference. He still wouldn't be better than Lomachenko. So no, the number of belts that you have doesn't mean that you're better. Errol Spence had 3 belts. Terence only had 1. Did that mean that Errol was better? No.
Same thing with the resume, because Boots hasn't fought the top. There's probably people at 147 with better resumes than Boots, but I got him over all those guys. So yeah, I think you got to see just because you got more belts and you got to score like the way that you know how to score. Like I'm amazed at how few people actually look at how you score a boxing match when they talk about who the best fighter is. Who's the best basketball player? It's the one that does what? Why would people say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan? They're talking about rebounding, assists. They're talking about rebounding, assists, scoring, or whatever. And they're looking with Will Chamberlain because he got like 11 rings or somebody, right? So they can say that he was the.
It's Bill Russell, yeah. And it's a real argument that Bill Russell's there because of the number of. I think the championships is off because it's a team sport. So when you're looking at an individual person, though, you're looking at how you, or better yet, how do you compare who's the better team against each other? It's who scores the most. You're not looking at the different things like, I mean, yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to the individual. Let me go to an individual one. Who's the better tennis player? It's going to be the combination of the person with the best backhand, the best offense, and the best defense. Right. Who's the best offense? Who has the best combination between the offense and defense?
But then they'll say, well, who would you play against?
Yeah, and well, I mean, they also have something where you have to win tournaments, and you really have to play everybody.
Okay.
You have to play everybody in tennis. That anybody that's in your ranking, and you got to keep winning to get any of those championships. Every single solitary year, every single solitary championship is up for grabs, and you don't get to pick and choose who you play. So in boxing is just funny in that you get to pick who you want to play. But anyway, man, thank you, pound for pound.
No, thank you, man. Have a good day.
Man, anytime, sir. Thank you. Peace. Samuel Ramsey said Tank is like Tyson, kryptonite boxer with a punch. Yes, sir. Except for I think that Gervonta Davis is a much better fighter than Mike Tyson. Is because he has to be. He has to be better. Tank got hit clean with a 3-punch and no wobble. Exactly. Because he didn't get hit that cleanly. But I mean, it was just a bad argument, bro. Because he always Rollo, what you do is you hurt yourself because you always want to get me to say something so you can disagree with what I say. And you like to take the lead. So I'm not going to ever, you're going to have to stick your neck out there every time you talk to me, Rollo. Just so you know. Because I like you, Rollo. You, every time we talk, Rollo, you want to get me to say something so you can put me on the defensive. That's what Here for Boxing likes to do. Let me ask you a question. So I make a statement, and now you can attack my statement. You and Here for Boxing do the same thing. Same thing that Claymore Rain does. Same thing a lot of people do. You like to be passive aggressive. Well, what do you think? I'm not answering questions today. No, Rollo, you kind of soft when it comes to arguments. Argumentatively, you're kind of a sweetie pie, man. Kind of soft. I let you talk, man. I let you talk plenty. Everybody heard what you. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if you heard what Rollo said. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you heard what Rollo said? I'm not going to let you go for no hour and a half nonstop. But you soft, bro. You soft when it comes to arguing. You're real soft. Real soft. Intellectually, you're soft. I don't know about them streets. But as far as that podium, you soft. You real soft, man. Real soft. Like Charmin tissue paper. You know what I mean? I'm going to start calling your ass Charmin. Flush your ass. Fanon, King asked you the most questions. Put a 2 if y'all heard me. Rollo. Why, look how Rollo trying to con. Rollo's trying to con y'all into putting 2s in there. See what a sneak Rollo is? Look, Rollo, I said put a 1. You have no votes. That's a fake Rollo. Well, we'll just go ahead and ban Rollo then. We'll just ban Rollo. We just ban you, Rollo. You ain't a real street. I'm not a street nigga. I'm not that. Don't want to be that. Never, ever heard why that was a good thing to be. Ever. Don't know why I'd want to be one. That damn near sounds like you're homeless. But I don't want to be that. I don't have to be that. One more caller while we get to this 3-hour mark, man. The Haney, hey, dude, he wanted to talk about Haney bad. You wanted to talk about Devin bad, Rollo. Rollo wanted to talk about Devin so bad. Like, oh, God, can I please talk about Devin? Can I please talk about Devin? Wallow, we're being a street dude is not cool. As if. Don't nobody want to talk about Devin. He's not a big topic. He's not a big talk. He's not a big topic. Where you at, King? Man, I've lost. Oh, frequent flyers right there. Frequent flyer. Let's talk about that Mickey Mouse belt. What Mickey Mouse belt? Edwin Torres. What Mickey Mouse belt? What Mickey Mouse belt? Why? Because he's a champion with the WBA. Edwin Torres, you suck, bro. Why didn't he go for Shakur? Why would he go for a vacant WBC belt? Why would he? He's the WBA champion. That's another stupid ass argument. Why didn't he do this? And I think what you're doing is implying that he should have. What are you doing when you ask that question? What are you trying to accomplish when you ask me that question? Why didn't he do that? Well, you're asking me a question, so you're asking me to explain and justify something that didn't happen. As if you're implying that it should have happened. Why would he go for the WBC mandatory position? Why would he do that? Can you give me a good reason that he should do that? I heard that about Jaron and going the WBO route. Why should he go the WBO route? What difference would it have made? You're gonna get to the same place. You think Gervonta Davis should have chased Shakur Stevenson? He should drop his belt that he has and go fight. So that's stupid. So Shakur doesn't get it? Why doesn't he want Shakur to get that belt? So Shakur doesn't get it? That's amazing. Watch this. The questions. A question counter. Who's going to be the official question counter for this one? Can y'all in the comment section keep a running count of the questions? How can I help you?
Hey, how's your day today?
Don't count that question.
That's question one.
It's the same as it was. I'm happy. God is great.
Man, y'all know Tank ain't better than no goddamn Terence Crawford. What's wrong with y'all, man? Tank ain't better than Terence Crawford. They on two different planets, man. Stop it, man. Cut it out, man. You smarter than this. Come on, man. This shouldn't even be a topic. Some conversations just don't need to happen. This ain't one of them. That's all. I ain't got no more questions. Y'all got to stop.
Why?
Because he's not a better fighter.
Why?
You have Terence Crawford as number one of your pound for pound, so that's why.
No, that's my opinion. Why?
Because he's not a better. One,
If it's that obvious, you should be able to answer the question.
okay,
Why?
I'll make it.
Why?
I'll make it simple.
Don't.
I'll make
Don't
it.
make it simple. The problem is that you just made it too simple. You started laughing. There must be a reason that you think that.
Because Terence is a better fighter.
Why?
Because Tank cannot fairly be graded until he's in a fight that's a 50-50 fight, and we see who Tank truly is. Right now, we don't know what Tank is.
You've never seen Terence in a 50-50 fight.
Errol Spence was his 50-50 fight. He just made it not look like one.
No, it wasn't.
You said it was a 50-50 fight at the time it was made?
It wasn't when the fight happened.
Well, it was when it was made, and Terence...
Okay, well, so was Jose Pedraza.
No, it wasn't. Stop.
Yes, Jose Pedraza was favored in that fight.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Jose Pedraza was favored in that fight.
Let's stay on track here. Come on.
We're going to stay on track.
Terence Crawford won his legacy fight in domination. Tank hasn't had his yet.
Hold on a second. When Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, he was the favorite in the fight. He was a plus 150. When Gervonta Davis fought Jose Pedraza for the IBF 130-pound title, Gervonta Davis was the underdog. So we have an example of Gervonta Davis being the underdog in a fight. You don't have any examples of Terence Crawford being the underdog.
I don't care what Vegas betting lines say. Let's talk.
No, that's literally the favorite.
No, I don't forget what Vegas says.
Why? They're the favorite.
Because boxing conversation, everyone knew Gervonta Davis would beat Pedraza.
No, they didn't. What do you mean? No, they didn't. No, they did not.
Gervonta to beat Pedraza.
Sir, no, they did not.
Did you pick Pedraza to beat
I barely knew who Gervonta was.
Gervonta already had a name by that point.
No, he did not.
Yes,
that was his first title fight.
Gervonta had a name. What do you mean?
He did not.
He had a name in boxing.
When
Gervonta beat Pedraza,
honest,
when Gervonta beat Pedraza, he had a bigger name in boxing than Boots has right now.
No, he didn't. He was on the undercard.
Yes, he did.
He was in the undercard.
He was Floyd's undercards.
He was not on Floyd's undercard.
He was
on the undercard of James DeGale.
Bro, Tank Davis was going to beat Pedraza.
Sir, he was on the undercard of James DeGale.
Cool. And he was also a Floyd undercard fighter a few times.
No, he was not.
He never fought on Floyd's undercard.
No.
He never fought on the Floyd undercard.
He didn't fight on Floyd's undercard until after Pedraza.
I'm just asking you if he fought on the Floyd undercard. He had the Floyd coach.
Afterwards.
Bro, look, Tank Davis was
you
never
got to be honest. I got to put you on mute because I need to fact check you for a second. This is not to you. This is for everybody else. What Here for Boxing said was that Gervonta Davis, you've never seen Gervonta Davis in a 50-50 fight. Jose Pedraza was a minus 190 or minus, according to somebody, a minus 290, which means Jose Pedraza was the favorite. So we did see Gervonta Davis in a fight where he was actually the underdog. Terence Crawford, to my knowledge, has never been the underdog. If he was, maybe he was the underdog against Breidis Prescott. Maybe. To fact check Here for Boxing, nobody knew who Gervonta Davis was. Gervonta Davis was fighting on the undercard for James DeGale in D.C. He wasn't even the main event for James DeGale. Okay? So don't tell me that everybody knew that he was going to win the fight because not everybody was even knew who Tank was. Be honest, man.
You just because somebody don't agree with you don't mean they're not being honest.
No, that's a fact. That's not honest.
Never going to lose to Pedraza, bro. He was never going to lose to Pedraza. When we talking about this 50-50 stuff, I'm not talking about what Vegas talking about.
Who was Tank? Who was Terence Crawford going to lose to?
It was supposed to be Errol Spence, according to a
lot of people. Who was he going to lose to?
Who was he going to lose to?
Because it was supposed to be Pedraza for Tank.
Who was Bud supposed to lose to?
Yes, let me be clear.
He was supposed to lose to Errol.
You said that Tank was never going to lose to Pedraza. Okay? Even though he was supposed to lose to Pedraza based on the odds.
May I ask a question?
So you're saying after the fight that he was never going to lose?
No, he wasn't.
So who was Terence Crawford going to lose to?
He wasn't going to lose it. Hold on. So Terence Crawford, let's talk
Bro,
about.
you
I'm
don't have
trying
a reason for why. I'm actually asking you, challenging you to give a technical analysis of the fighters themselves, their defense, their ring generalship, their effective aggression, and their clean and effective punching. I'm asking you to actually give an analysis of their skill set in a ring, not to crack jokes about everybody knowing. None of that. What do you see them do in the ring that tells you that Terence Crawford is obviously better than him? Talk boxing, the skill set. I say Terence Crawford. Why do I say Terence Crawford? Very thin amount. Very thin amount. I would say because of ring generalship. Their aggression is equal. Their clean and effective punching is equal. Their defense is equal. Ring generalship, I may give an advantage to Terence Crawford. That's why I say it. Why do you say it?
I answered your question already. I said that we have not seen Gervonta in a fight where
that is not a skill. That is not a skill. That we have not seen is not a skill. You don't know anything about boxing, bro. You're not willing to even talk boxing with me. You want to talk about what Tank hasn't done. Because we've never seen him. You're just a hater, bro. You're just a hater. Not able to even talk about boxing. You just want to get up here and giggle. Where other people will give a technical breakdown and say, look, man, I don't really know if he's any better than him. I think their skill sets approximate each other. Part of the problem with Terence Crawford is his age. Tank versus Martin, who we like. T-Sean versus, Tank versus Martin. I'll take Tank. And Tio versus Keyshawn. I'll take Tio. No, he won't stay on point because he's not very good at it. But I appreciated that, and I'm going to... Let me see the odds for Terence Crawford and Breedis, because I think that's when Terence Crawford did it, honestly. And for me, it was post-all for me, or for a lot of people. Odds. No, Terence Crawford was a big favorite over Breedis Prescott. No, Breedis, he was a big favorite over Breedis Prescott. So no, I don't think Terence Crawford ever was. I don't know of him ever being the underdog in a fight. Now, that's not saying that that's a negative statement on him. But for you to say that Tank was not that, Tank was that against Jose Pedraza. And why was it so obvious that Jose Pedraza was going to beat him? Jose Pedraza moved up and won a title at 135. You're just completely discounting. Y'all just completely discount that man's accomplishments as if, we just know. Well, if you just know, you must think that Terence Crawford, you must think that Gervonta is a great fighter. You must think he's a really great fighter if you just know he's going to beat everybody. Zena said, Bud has never been the underdog. I checked. Yeah, there you go. Only time he'll be the underdog is if he fights Canelo. He'll be an underdog in that. David Benavidez, he'll be an underdog in that. No, he was a huge favorite against Julius Ndungo. Huge favorite against Ndungo. Huge. I don't even have to look at that. That was a huge favorite against Ndungo. Huge favorite. Huge favorite. +9. Ndungo was +950. He was. Crawford was -1500 against Julius Ndungo. I'm not saying Bud is juicing. I think that's unfair to Bud. Very unfair to Bud to act like he's juicing. I don't agree with that at all. I will never do that to Bud. Bud's a great fighter, man. I am glad that, at least here for boxing, that you said that because I say so, that proves it. Oh, I love that. Hey, man, can anybody answer a question? Can y'all answer this question for me? If there was only one more, if only there were more honest debates. Wow, yeah, they don't have them. Look, man, did you hear Here for Boxing say that the reason that Bud is #1 pound for pound is because I said he is? Yeah. Yeah, it was +1500 in a unification fight. Exactly. For 2 of the belts. He got half the belts against that guy. Now, I'm not putting no drug cheat on Bud, man. I don't participate in that. I don't participate in those accusations of Terence Bud Crawford. Man, the great Kamal Oz.
Fanon, what's up, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. This is the perfect last caller, man. What's up with you, man?
Hey, I got to give it to you. You exuded patience. There were some awful callers, not going to mention any names, but, you know.
I will. Rollo, and Here for Boxing, and King. 3 of them.
Okay, those are your words, not mine. I just want to be clear, man. It's your show. I just find it funny, man, that, like, again, when there's a law, it applies to anybody, regardless of the situation, whether you like them or not. If I go 5 miles above the speed limit, I can't get pissed off for getting a ticket if that's the law, okay? And it applies to me. It applies to my mom. It applies to AB, Adrian Broner. You know about babies, algebra books. It applies to anyone. What I'm seeing with these new boxing fans is I'm hearing a lot.
Man, did you just say algebra books? That's just funny, bro.
About babies. I love AB, man. I absolutely love AB. He's a national treasure, man. In a sport and a world where you have one loss and they try to cancel you. We've seen so many people, get canceled for stupid stuff that this communist corporate media tries to pull on people. In boxing, you see people take a loss and they want to tell the great Errol Spence to retire, not giving him credit for entering the ring, which I think was an unfortunate decision, putting himself at risk. And instead they make memes about him. But AB, multiple losses in this horrible context to be an athlete in boxing, and still he has the numbers up and still he's a big name. So he's a national treasure. But I wanted to get back to that point about people having it both ways. So earlier, people were saying years ago that Teofimo, Lomachenko, Kambosos were all ducking Haney. Okay. And the argument that they said that they railed against was the argument that they said was being applied to Devin, that he's all risk, no reward. Beating their fighters were allegedly saying that beating him doesn't do anything for him. And they were the ultimate arbiters of who's ducking, and everyone was ducking their guy. You ask these same people, line by line, fighter by fighter, hey, so Devin said he's all about fighting the best, right? He accuses Gervonta of being, and the Floyd Mayweather era being over. They are the faces of boxing, allegedly. That's what they say. But then you start going down the line, you say, okay, so Sandor Martin, he's your mandatory, and you're paying him step-aside money, right? Yeah, but Sandor Martin, he doesn't do anything for Devin. Sandor Martin, he's stinkfest, boring, dancing, rah. Well, didn't you just chastise people years ago that said the same thing, allegedly, about Devin Haney and why not to fight him? We used to say, for anybody, if you're paying stand-aside money, step-aside money for anybody, that's a duck. So if Devin was getting step-aside money, you and I would have said those people are ducking him. He wasn't getting the step-aside money, but people wanted to invent something that wasn't there. Okay? So I'm just seeing a lot of bogus narratives And the biggest thing is hypocrisy. No one can explain to me how you got my guy Subriel Matias over to the zone, and he's got a 3-fight deal, and none of the first 2 are going to be Devin Haney.
The third
Neither
ain't
of
gonna
those
be
2.
Devin Haney.
The third is not guaranteed to be Haney. It's
It can't
either
because Devin ain't got a 3-fight contract his damn self. So how could it be?
So you're not fighting Sandor Martin. You're fighting Ryan Garcia, who a guy you called a social media star. You told me that he wasn't this big name. PBC built him up. You know, they wanted to play with Oscar. They wanted to have it both ways. You're paying step-aside money to your mandatory, who you and I agree, and a lot of people agree, actually beat Teofimo Lopez. Dropped him, got credit for dropping him once, but should have gotten credit for dropping him twice. And he's not a power player.
Real quick, Rachel Donaire, who asked a very specific question, which is educational just by the fact that she asked it, said, is he getting step-aside or did he get special permission? Then Southpaw TV, shout out to Southpaw TV, said special permission. So it's very possible that he's not even paying the step aside. He's just asking for permission not to fight him.
I saw an interview with Suleiman. That's a great question. Rachel knows more boxing than I could never know. You know, she forgets more boxing than I would know in my lifetime. So I defer to her. But it seemed like I saw an interview with Mauricio Suleiman, and he was saying that they are arranging something between the camps, between the 3 camps, between Sandor Martin, Haney, and Ryan Garcia. And he insinuated that it was going to be like a step-aside agreement. And again, I mean, I don't know. So I'm not there. Either way, does that change the context of, you know?
Yeah, it does. It changes it. Because if it's special privileges and it's not, see, if it's step-aside, then Sandor Martin's okay with it. So I wouldn't have a problem with step-aside. But if you ask for special permission, that's a duck.
Okay, so either way, my point is, either way, you're not fighting the best. If you're trying to get special permission to fight Ryan Garcia, 1 fight removed from fighting Tank, who you criticized that fight, you said no one buy it. You encouraged people not to buy that pay-per-view, and you failed because that pay-per-view did double what Errol and Crawford did. Facts. It did double what Errol and Crawford did. Facts. So you demonstrably failed in that. Either way, I guess, you know, Sandor Martin would be co-signing on stepping aside and getting like 100,000 or whatever, like Bum Lufkin did when everyone was like, Canelo's ducking Bum Lufkin. But what was Bum Lufkin doing? He was taking step aside from Cotto, from Canelo. So I get your point on that. But either way, to me, you're not fighting the best. You're not. So I see too many of these man fans, the Bud Buddies, you know, the Haney man fans, not all Haney fans, I'm saying the man fans of Devin Haney, that are wanting to have it both ways. When Devin was coming up, everybody was a duck if they didn't drop everything, go to DAZN and fight him, even if they had an ESPN contract. Now that Devin's in a little bit of a power position, he fought Regis Prograis, who really many people thought he should have lost to Zarilla, that Puerto Rican guy, his previous fight. He actually got knocked down in that fight. And now people are trying to reinvent Regis Prograis that Devin fought him like he was the best at 140. No, bro. So I just want to get your thoughts on this hypocrisy, because the true standards, and you know this as a lawyer, you know, why is we have statues of women being blindfolded? Because justice is supposed to be blind. So if you have one standard for your guy when he's coming up and maybe he doesn't have a lot of money behind him, but then you have another set of standards when he's in a so-called power position, that to me, you're no different than when these Canelo man fans, and they're big time man fans, the Chupapi Muñeños is another YouTube content creator would say, not going to say the name. He's a great one as well. Like you, Fanon, you have the same standards when people are saying, oh, Canelo, he's not ducking Demetrius Andrade, even though he said he was going to unify 160 and be undisputed. And he said he was going for the WBO. He's not ducking. But then you're saying, okay, so it's okay to work your way around Richardson Hitchens, Subriel Matias, work your way around Jack Catterall, work your way around 5 or 6 guys who we all agree at this moment in time would probably beat Ryan Garcia. Want to get your thoughts on that, Fanon, because in the end, and I'm going to hang up, and I really want to get your thoughts on this. I'm just seeing way too much hypocrisy. Your guy's in one line or one lane in boxing, and so it's all about he's the victim, he's the big victim. Then he gets a little pub, And then it's like, okay, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, like Terence Crawford, you had one fight. You fought Kell Brook, who had 2 broken eyes. He was like a broken down Terminator. Who the hell wanted to see that? You fought Ndongo from The Lion King. Nah, swaya, someone to be What's Ndongo's record after he fought Crawford? I think he's lost like 6 times, 5 of them by knockouts. So you beat one guy, Errol Spence, who gives you the farm, who comes into the ring at a clear disadvantage. And, you know, you get all butthurt when people notice that. Even boxing trainers like Abel Sanchez say, hey, Errol didn't look the same. And then you tell me you fought David Avocado, you fought Hank Lundy, moving him up in weight, and you say you can't fight a Jaron Boots Ennis, but you get butthurt because you made a decision not to sign with the PBC like Manny Pacquiao did, and then you misconstrue things and say that they're working against you, when in fact, it's always been better to make fights in-house. And now you say, oh, I beat Errol Spence. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm just going to sit around and wait for Canelo. Well, drop the freaking belts. And you don't owe Canelo. I'm going to tell this to, what's his name in Crawford's camp? Davis, Keyshawn Davis. Canelo doesn't, Fanon, they're having me defend Canelo. And you know I can go on a history lesson, which I won't, of Canelo's history of ducking from when he was at 154 all the way up. But you're having me defend a guy saying that he's not obliged to fight you. He's obliged to fight you if you make yourself relevant at 168. No, man, Crawford's not trying to campaign to the division. No, man. So it's just like I'm seeing a bunch of hypocrisy. You, Crawford, the Bud Buddies were telling me that Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, all these guys were ducking you when you made the decision to re-sign with Top Rank, and you didn't do what Manny Pacquiao did. You didn't do what Miguel Cotto did and got out of that contract, and you had to abide by the choices of that decision. And now you beat one guy. One fight I want to see. The Porter fight, I don't even count, Phenom, because that was podcast Porter. That was a retirement. I love Sean Porter. He'd already started his podcast. Kenny said that Sean wasn't even focused on boxing. So you beat one guy, and it's like Mahomes saying, oh, I won 1 Super Bowl. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to try to fight the best. I want to get your thoughts on this hypocrisy, and specifically my analogy of justice. Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, and then people wanting to have it both ways. And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks for the time.
Oh, yes, no worries. Okay, so the Lady Justice is supposed to be, it's a picture of scales. She holds a scale in her hand and she's blindfolded. So it is supposed to be, she's not looking at what's on the scale. She's just holding the scale. And one side, what you put on one side of the scale has to be balanced with what's on the other side of the scale. If you put one more favoritism towards one deal than the other, it's just supposed to be fair, it's supposed to be rational, it's supposed to be logical, and you have the same standard for each person. So, you know what I mean? You don't put your thumb on the scale and make it uneven. And Devin Haney fans are the worst, without a doubt. But they're just haters. Well, let me not oversimplify it. First and foremost, King has a lot of these people have really, really big biases against the PBC. And that's what their rule is. If it's with the PBC, that's good. If it's not with the PBC, if it's PBC, it's bad. If it's non-PBC, related to the PBC, it's good. So that's what I think a lot of it is. Devin Haney fans, though, they're just fucking buffoons. They're either gullible as hell. Most of them are gullible. Some of them are just obviously dishonest and getting paid for saying what they say. But a lot of it is just gullibleness and not thinking the problem all the way through. And they wouldn't know the rule if it bit them on the ass, because you can't, not all of these people continue to duck. Like, not everything is a duck. Devin Haney cannot say, I want to fight you tomorrow, and if you don't do it, that's a duck. They're just, I mean, that's all the thing I can say. They don't have any standards. The standard is, the rule is, like I said, the rule is, I keep the Devin Haney rule right here. Devin is right. To them, that's balanced. What does Devin want to do? What's Devin's position? Oh, well, it's right. When Devin Haney when Gervonta fights Ryan Garcia, that's bad. When he fights Devin, that's good. And why is it good? Any reason you can come up with. Any reason you can come up with. Oh, he's fighting at 140 now. That's why he's a way better fighter at 140, even though you've never seen him look good at 140. Even though moving to 140 may mean that his power may mean anything, that the reason he's at 140. Could be a lack of discipline is why he's at 140. Adrian Bronner didn't get to become a better fighter when he left 135 and went to 147. He got worse. So why is it that Ryan, without you actually even seeing him do that, is better? I didn't hear anybody, you mute people because you're losing. I'm not even close to losing. You don't click the link because you're a coward. Click the link. I won't mute you. Go ahead. I mute people who try to filibuster me. And it's my challenge. And it's my channel. And it's my channel. Go ahead and click the link. I got time for you. I bet you don't click it. Because you're a ghost account for somebody. Go ahead and click the link. Go ahead and click the link. And prove me I'm wrong. And how about you prove me wrong in a way where I don't feel like I got to mute you? See how that funny that is? Now, see, I talk to a bunch of people that I don't mute. I've debated a bunch of people that I didn't mute. But it's my responsibility. I'm the reason. It's not them. It's not the guy that is sitting there changing subjects and wanting to say 5 different things in a row and get all the way to their conclusion. See how that works? Come on. Now, take for example, Rollo. Rollo says 4 things in a row that are not true. Gervonta Davis, or King, or what's that dude's name? Anyway, let's just do it this way. Well, I got something I want to say. Gervonta Davis ducked Shakur Stevenson when Shakur was when he was Shakur's WBC mandatory, and then he refused to exercise his mandatory with the WBA when he was the mandatory challenger for Devin Haney, and he turned down a fight with Vasily Lomachenko when Bob Arum offered him a fight with at 130 pounds, and he's never ever fought anybody as an underdog. You want to run off 4 things that are not true. And if I stop you at the first one, something is wrong with me. Because I stop you at Gervonta Davis was who's mandatory? He was Devin Haney's WBC mandatory. Now lie and tell me somebody didn't say that. I was listening and I heard someone say that Gervonta Davis was Devin Haney's WBC mandatory. Oh, the great Ray Davis. What's up, Ray Davis?
What's up, man? Thank you for calling me.
What's up? Good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
I'm here. I'm always here. You know, I heard some little things that you said. It's cool. I'm here.
You really?
Oh, I might be. I'm in a bad area, so you got to bear with me. What's good with you?
Yeah, I didn't think you was coming back, man. I didn't think you were coming back.
Oh, no. Why would I come back? I'm here every day.
Awesome. Good to know. Something you want to talk about?
No, I just heard what you was just saying. You know what I mean? You were saying that the fans think that Ryan was bad for Tank. But me personally, I've never heard nobody say that. What I actually heard was they said that this might be Tank's biggest test. Now, and I've heard that. And I even heard Devin say, on Devin's side, because of following what Devin says, right? That Tank will lose Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, in his prediction. So if the fans follow Devin's words, that's what they said, right? So I mean, like I said, I can't predict. I can't speak for everybody, but I know
an exhibition.
Huh?
He called it an exhibition.
For who? For Ryan or for Tank? Because he said Ryan was going to win. So why would he call it an exhibition?
Because he's hypocritical. Because he says one thing and says something else. That's why.
Sounds familiar. I've heard that before.
I mean, it is. He said it was an exhibition. They said it was an exhibition. And then he said Gervonta Davis was going to lose. That's saying one thing, unless you think Gervonta Davis is going to lose an exhibition.
Okay. Well, can I ask this question then real quick?
Sure.
I remember you stating that people have the right to change their mind. So is it possible that he had the right to change his mind? I mean, does he have to be a hypocrite? Because if that's the case, then many times you change your mind and things.
When did I change my mind?
A lot of times. You said things that you were here for boxing, if I'm not mistaken, about a month ago.
Do you have an example of me changing my mind offhand?
Y'all were talking about Terence Crawford. I can give you that for example, because like I said, it's about a month ago, but I do recall you saying I'm allowed to change my mind.
No, but I didn't say I didn't.
No, I'm correct. I actually do remember.
Right.
I think it was a Teofimo argument. And he was saying that you said something in a video. I don't know for sure, but I remember him saying something about.
Let me tell you what I said. I did not change my mind. No, I didn't change my mind. I never ever said that Teofimo Lopez ducked Devin Haney. I never said that. The only time I never meant it. The only time the words ever left my mouth was when I was joking about the fact that Teofimo Lopez talked bad about Deontay Wilder. And I said, okay, so for the sake of arguing, then I'm gonna say you ducked Devin Haney. I didn't believe it. So then I said, well, what if I did change my mind? I still have the right to change my mind if I did, but I didn't change my mind. I steadfastly maintained that I never thought Teofimo Lopez ducked Devin Haney, ever.
I didn't say that you said that. I said that you stated that you have the right to change your mind, which you just actually said. Yeah. Okay, so I just said the same thing. Doesn't Devin have the right to change his mind?
About what? Yes, he did. Yes, he can change his mind, but he still said it.
But that doesn't mean he's a hypocrite if he has the right to change his mind. I mean,
I have never heard Devin Haney. First of all, those things are not contradictory, which is why I should really analyze the two statements. Saying the fight is an exhibition means that it is not a real fight.
Fair enough.
That's what he said. To say that he thinks Gervonta Davis will win does not change the fact that he said the fight was an exhibition and he shit on the fight, because he still shit on the fight. He just said Gervonta was going to lose it. So really, that's just hating on him the first time and hating him on the second time.
Okay.
Watch, because that's not changing your mind. You said, does he have the right to change his mind? But that's not changing your mind.
Okay, I mean, if we break it down that way, yes. But
if I say the fight is an exhibition, in order for me to change my mind, I have to say the fight is not an exhibition. That's not what they said. They just said Gervonta Davis was going to lose it.
Okay, but at the same time, you said he was a hypocrite for that. So if he's a hypocrite,
I could give well, let me tell you the.
Okay, no, I got what you're saying. I just want to be clear because I'm just listening to you.
I mean, it is hypocritical. It is hypocritical.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, so then
let me tell you the hypocritical. What's hypocritical? What's hypocritical is for you to say when it's Gervonta, it's an exhibition, but when you fight, it's about the money and not legacy anymore.
But that wasn't the context of the conversation. The context.
No, if it's just an exhibition, an exhibition means it's not a serious fight. If Gervonta Davis can fight a guy and it's just an exhibition, but you can fight him and now it's a serious fight. That's two different standards for the same person, man.
I mean, are they fighting for a title? I mean, or is the fight being taken seriously for a title, or was it somebody who had to come down and meet in a weight class where it was just like, okay, we're just going to fight just because I can't make weight, we're going to have a catch weight? I mean, that can be considered an exhibition.
He's fighting. It's a fight. One is a professionally sanctioned fight against a professional fighter. Gervonta Davis is a professional world-class fighter. Ryan Garcia is a professional world-class fighter. He is that. It's not a question. He is one. He was formerly ranked inside the top 3. He was the matter of fact, he was the number 1 ranked guy in the WBA when he fought Gervonta at 135.
But it wasn't at the weight, so it was pretty much like an exhibition.
He was a 135-pound professional fighter ranked number 1 at 135. He is a serious fighter.
Okay.
That's not when you fight an exhibition. I'll let you finish. When you fight an exhibition, that is a fight against retired fighters. That is not an official fight that is going to go on your record. That's when it is an exhibition. Fighters fight at catch weights all the time, and they're not. That doesn't make it an exhibition. Do you think Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. was an exhibition?
Would the Floyd weigh in at?
He weighed in at 152 for a fight at 154. Was that an exhibition?
So it wouldn't have been an exhibition because he came in close to the weight, right?
Dude,
it wasn't a catch weight.
152 for 154. The 154-pound belt was on the line.
Right.
And they fought at 152. That's 2 pounds.
Okay.
There was 4 pounds between 136 and 140. They're both real fights, Ray. They're both real fights.
They weren't real. I mean, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson was real, regardless of how it
wasn't. That was an exhibition.
They didn't punch each other?
It was not a real professional fight. No, it was an exhibition.
I got that. But my point is, I'm using some of the words you're saying, and I get it, because you explained what the exhibition was with retired fighters, so I heard that. But I'm asking some of the things you were concluding is that because they're real fighters, they are real fighters. They both professionally box. So if they punch each other, that would make it a fight. They did make money on the fight. It was sanctioned, if I'm not mistaken, also.
What was sanctioned? What was sanctioned?
The fight was sanctioned in the state, wasn't it?
What sanctioned? What fight was sanctioned?
Jones.
No, it was not sanctioned. It was an exhibition.
The Athletic Commission didn't have to agree upon that?
Sir, that was an exhibition.
Okay.
It was they may have had to approve the exhibition, but they approved an exhibition. They approved an exhibition. It's an exhibition.
Okay.
It's an exhibition because it's not a formal fight sanctioned by a sanctioning body. It's an exhibition.
Fair enough.
Gervonta Davis's fight with Ryan Garcia was not an exhibition. It was going on. It is on the record of Gervonta Davis. It is on the record of Ryan Garcia, their official record. It is on their official record. It was an officially sanctioned professional fight. It was not an exhibition.
Okay.
Okay? So when Gervonta said that was an exhibition, he was talking about the relative skill level for Gervonta. It was an exhibition for Gervonta. Just like he said that Mario Barrios was not a serious fighter. That Mario Barrios' whole career was manufactured just so he could fight Gervonta Davis.
Okay. I still want to get back to your point that you just made again. So you're saying he said it was an exhibition fight, but then he still picked him to win. That's where I have an issue with right there. Because if you're picking somebody to win in an exhibition, whose skill set is he diminishing? Gervonta or is he diminishing Ryan?
Both.
Both?
Yes, because he's saying they're only an exhibition level fighter and you picked him to lose. So he is tearing down Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Both.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm about to go back to class for now. That was great. That was good. That was good talk. I appreciate that. That was some good
Okay,
answers.
no worries, man.
You right? So I'm always here, man. Don't worry about it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no
I'm not
worries. I
no
appreciate
smoke
you
show, but
coming
I
on.
do like questions. All right, man. You have a
All
good
right,
day,
man.
man.
You back.
All right. Peace.
Oh, Southpaw said a wise man said, don't argue with fools. People at the distance can't tell who's who. Oh, well, hey, man, that's on the people at a distance, bro. That's on the people at a distance. Look, man, these guys are not fools. Ray's not a fool. You're just arguing from a position that Devin is right. Bill and Devin and his fans and channels all said Ryan was an Instagram model. It is an exhibition and told us not to buy it. Then said Haney and Loma was the 135-pound Super Bowl. Tank gets no credit because he's supposed to win. Why flat out lie? I mean, it's Devin is right, bro. That's all it is. It's Devin is right. And the whole foundation is funny. So nah, he's not a fool. He's just in a bad position. The argument is bad. The argument is bad. It's just a terrible argument. An argument is a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to waste. But I'm out. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Thank you so much, Zenus360, and my guy, Mr. Pragmatic, who said, extremely late, but I want to show my support for the channel. Thank you, brother. That's more than showing support. That's giving support. And I so much appreciate you for it. We'll be back tomorrow on what's today? Wednesday, Thursday. And with that, I'm out. Deuces, it was a wonderful show. Peace.